Prospect last Saturday, it was a close run thing, and the Roosters just didn't take their opportunities. The Redlegs home in a thriller. And down at the Bay on Sunday, it was the Tigers who overwhelmed Port Adelaide with their pressure, and they went on to record an 81-point victory. Two sides in good form to clash this afternoon here at the Norwood Oval. It's Norwood against Glenelg, and Nick Chick-Widden is with me this afternoon. And Chicky, those matches last week, which we'll have highlights of later on, were very important and continues the run for both sides.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both teams are in great form, winning their last 3 games each. Today's just critical to get that game clear into the 5, so both teams will be desperate to get that win.
And Norwood's record of recent times, they are in good form. That bye split 3 wins in a row.
Yes, and you look at that, what I really like about that is those 2 close wins at the end. It shows the team's got character and they got that belief in themselves, so they'll be tough today, Norwood.
And they've been important sides in Central and North Adelaide. As we look through Glenelg's record, again, they're in good form. They have played sides further down the ladder, though.
They have, but they've done everything they can, and that is win by those big margins. So they're in great form, but they certainly won't get it as easy as today as they did against Port last week.
These two clubs have met twice this season, and it's been a victory each and a victory on the respective clubs' home ground.
Certainly has been, and Glenelg started well out here in round 1, but then Norwood, with their experience, came over the top in the second half and were pretty impressive.
So you can make a case for both clubs this afternoon. They have, over time, only drawn once. That was here at the parade in round 2, 1964. So it's a long time ago. The Eagles in North Adelaide lead the premiership race. Central's in 3rd place. Glenelg, Port and Norwood all struggling to try and get into the top 5 for the major round. Well, Mark Soderstrom joins us as usual on the boundary. Soders, what's the story for the Legs this afternoon?
Well, the Legs have been impressive the past 2 weeks, beating top 3 sides. What's been more impressive about their performance is that it has been achieved without 2 key players. Stewie Bound has been out with a hamstring injury and Gavin Hughes with a calf. So they both come in today and they will really boost that side. And watch out for Gav Hughes. He's got a best time for 100 metres of 10.6 seconds, so he will be blistering today. And despite sitting just outside the 5 on percentage, there's still no talk of finals here at the parade.
Yeah, we're trying to keep that in the back of our minds as opposed to the forefront. I think we're just about getting better each week, and I think the players themselves, got a greater self-belief now, and the overall game's improved dramatically since, last time we played the Bays.
And yes, Bowen coming into that team, that certainly makes a big difference. They've got the experience there with Colpert and James, but I do like the young fellas up forward they've got in Blackco and Cockshell have been very important kicking goals for them this year.
And the Bays lineup, again, fairly settled now.
Pretty settled again. A little bit unsettled up forward, I suppose, with Rogers going back to the 2s. Backwell in the middle should be a great contest against James.
Ready for a start. Here's Michael Maney with the opening bounce.
Wonderful to be at the Bay, at Norwood Oval. The Bay's up against Norwood. Terrific ground. Wonderful to watch football. Be a terrific match. A place in the finals, maybe, up for grabs. Both teams needing to win this game. Knocked down by Meeson, taken by Gibbs. McConnell in the long sleeves. Taken by Campbell, got one high, umpire said play on, the spillage goes to Allen, taken by Moore, he's got Backwell, decided to go inboard, slip, Backwell's still there, he may get around Jackman, Backwell, this will be a dream start for the Bays, he splits the middle and makes no mistake at all. First goal, inside a minute, inside 30 seconds, the Bay important out of the centre.
Yes, that's all important, get it out of the centre, makes all the difference there. Mentioned Backwell in the pre-match there. Benny Moore has had a fantastic year, played his 100th game last year, just running the footy forward, Backwell running forward to the play again. They'll have to watch that, but a dangerous player when he gets it around goals. Just a dream start for Glenelg there in the first minute of play.
Brett Backwell very much enjoying that, a Tiger at heart. And again, well, they almost had they did have first possession, and finally they will spring it through. McCall wouldn't have been happy with that kick, and that's allowed Norwood to come back the other way. Campbell's kick, though, Mules cut it off. In the middle, he's got a couple of players, and they do want to switch it. Back behind him is Mitchell to his left. He's decided instead to go down the line. Kirkby had the ball knocked away from him. Good pressure from Norwood. Ball lays high to Bound. Oh, he almost pulled it down. great take almost. Again, just half a step wrong at the moment, North Adelaide. Brunoli got it back. Gallagher usually uses the ball well, sets it up high, and Sherwood consummate on Koshel and runs away. Takes a bounce, nobody to kick to. McConnell will have to hold it up, wait for the lead. Smith came, and going back was Gibbs, caught one high. He'll get a free kick. Well handled by Bryce Gibbs. It's play on advantage. McConnell through the centre square. Long and direct, but high. And Meeson gets back and takes the relieving mark for Norwood.
Project player for the Adelaide Crows. Meeson goes in short and finds Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer just chips to the outer side, also on the Crows list, to a former Crow in James. Duigan at half-back for Norwood. Kicks forward. That's a well-placed kick. And marked by Crouch. This is Luke Crouch, famous name at Norwood. Crouch kicks inside the 50. Bound couldn't take it. Koshel hooks it across the body. It floats high. Ball Ace has got a set under it and muffed it. A bit of pressure, perceived pressure maybe, taken by Mitchell. Just hacked out of the area. Leading in the race was Meeson. Lovely down to Bailey. Bailey's handball had a couple to choose from. Taken by the legs. Carslake. It was Duigan who got it to Carslake, who's got Brunoli. The don't argue to Backwell. Brunoli sets sail for home, and he splits the middle. Oh, we could have a shootout here at the parade. Nick Chigwood and a couple of early goals.
Couple of early goals, and both teams giving their opponents plenty of room to get hold of the footy there. The old don't argue pushes Backwell off. Pretty hard tackle to get. He had to get under that arm. It finished off with a very good goal in the end. So Norwood got a quick answer to that opening Glenelg goal, but both teams free-flowing footy at the moment.
Bays have had the two set of breaks thus far, and 3 inside 50s to Norwood, 2 to the Bays. And scores locked away. McConnell comes off centre wing, breaks, has time now to deliver the ball, goes high. Smith is a target, punched away from him. At the front, Kirkby roved it well. Gave it away to Allen. Allen from just outside 50, long and high to the goal face. Ball knocked away. Doldig kept it in somehow. And Norwood will get an opportunity to clear through Gallagher. He's a long way clear, in fact. It's a question of accuracy with the kick. Goes down centre wing, knocked away, well roped by Brett James. Immediately he gets it onto Colpert. Colpert looks forward to the play and goes long and direct and over the head of the target. Bound though was in the right place, squares it up, could be a mark. Here's a mark to Blatko. And good work from Brunoli because he kept his opponent, his direct opponent in Panozzo, away from that contest.
It'll be a very good test for Willits today. He's on Bound at the moment, and Bound an experienced player, and Willits an up-and-coming power-listed player, so it'll be a good test there. And then you see Blatko finishing it off, whose hinge has picked up forward there, up the back lines for Glenelg. He's going on Blatko.
Well, it has been a great start to the game in what are absolutely magnificent conditions. We're expecting to get to about 18 degrees. Only a few little clouds in the sky, but conditions are magnificent for playing football, as you can see by the start by these two sides.
Thanks, Mark Soderstrom. Jamie Blatko, that had hurt Chiggy, former Glenelg. He's booted his 27th of the season, Jamie Blatko. Just 1 goal, 1 last week, so he started off this game pretty well. Good work by Bound to hook that back to the central position, and Blatko just eyes for the ball.
And I think that's the discipline of this Norwood team. They're a pretty even team right across the ground. They stick to their team rules, and that was a great example by Bound.
The legs by just the 1 goal, knocked down by Cranston, sharked by Borley, so a centre break to the legs, and a long lead is Blatko. Hinge has got the job on him this afternoon. A lot of talk during the week that Sherwood may be the man to get Blatko, but Koshel and Sherwood, so let's go down to Mark.
Well, for Glenelg, we did say Bryce Gibbs kicked 6 goals last week, and 2 of those were kicked at full forward in the last term, so he can play just about anywhere. A fortnight ago, he actually tagged Ben Haynes at West Adelaide, so expect him to cause a lot of headaches for Norwood today. He is starting in the midfield, and now that they've won 3 in a row, Mark Micken is very happy the way the boys are gelling together.
But in particular, I've been really happy with the way they've combined as a team, and we've got a really good contribution across the board, you know, for at least 3 weeks in a row, and that's where I think the real difference lies, and that's going to be important again today.
Mark Micken there, speaking about his team's chances in this afternoon's clash. They've been in pretty good nick the last few weeks. They've been booting plenty of goals. They're averaging about 24 goals a match in the last 3, Chicky, so they know where the goals are.
Yeah, which is interesting because they haven't got any real gun forwards there, but they're getting a lot of goals, as like Gibbs last week, kicking 6, so getting it through the midfield as well as up forward.
Mason doing a bit of roving to ball ace, too fierce for lower. Ball just hemmed in that pocket, can be dead sometimes. Backwell, short kick and spots up Allen. That's a good bit of play. The kick needed to be precise, and Backwell is terrific by foot.
He certainly is, and it's a good contest. It's ball ace against Backwell at the moment. Both players getting a bit of the football and will be backing themselves in, so it'll be a shootout between those two.
Ty Allen, pretty handy player for them. He's only booted a couple of goals this season, so let's see what he's like from about 15 metres out. Perfect day for it. Has he just snuck it in? I think he has. Oh, just left enough room, Ty Allen, but it's level again.
Yeah, as you mentioned here, Michael, just great work by Backwell. Glenelg just around the Backwell just summed it up brilliantly. Could have blasted away at goals, but centred it again. Glenelg are pretty disciplined as well. It's going to be a great game. I think both teams, it's going to be a real arm wrestle. I can't see anyone breaking clear at the moment.
We talked about making a case for both sides. Norwood's won 6 of the past 7 against Glenelg at Norwood, but overall Glenelg's won 4 of the past 5 against the Redlegs. So they seem to be evenly matched. Ball ace out of the middle, Culpert on the lead, one grab and will get the free kick for being his arm being pulled down by Ben Newell. So Culpert against his former team drops it into the danger area, bound from behind, got a leap. Punch came to the front. Well run by Allen. Sloppy hand pass though. Mitchell got it out wide to McConnell. Was steady. Good kick out to the running Willits. And he takes his time. Not much ahead of him as a target, so he's going to be forced to wait. Can drop it into McConnell or go into the centre square where Douglas has found some space. Kick wasn't perfect. Douglas follows it on. Perhaps was tripped up. Still it's play on. Well done by the Redlegs in position there to get the ball back. Now Hinge with the punch. Moore decides to go down the line. That was a mistake because Bryce Campbell was coming across with the smother.
For the Bay, starting on the bench there, we've got Daniel Kirk, who's back in the side. He was a late withdrawal with a calf injury last week against Port. Also Jared Sundquist and Bradley Yeomans.
All thrown in. Both ruckmen struggled to get to this. Meeson took it out, got the hand pass away cleverly. Barnamucci over the ball. In fact, Bernoli, I should say, another of the Bees. Comes to Mitchell. We know he can hoof a ball. Have a look at that. A one-step talk down to centre-half forward position. Brilliantly done by Kirkby. He's a left footer, so he's on his natural side. Look at the pass. Bryce Gibbs has no trouble running onto that.
It was a beautiful pass. Kirkby's been very impressive for the Bays on the left foot there. Didn't go for the short option, went for the lead further to Bryce Gibbs, which you'd put your money on Gibbsy here.
Under 18 All-Australian this year, 37 possessions last week against Port Adelaide, 11 marks, 6 goals, 1. And he started well this afternoon as well.
He's just a beautifully skilled player, and if he can get it inside 50, he's always going to be very dangerous because he's just got a great leg on him. As you can see, he's quick off the mark there. He's going to be a hard player for Norwood to match up on. His confidence is going to be very high, and I think since coming back from the under-18 competition, he's just really taken another step, and he's turning into a very important player for the Bays.
No question about that. It'll be a handful this afternoon, Bryce Gibbs. So Glenelg by a goal. Accurate kicking on a perfect day for football. Lovely day in Adelaide. As Mark Soderstrom mentioned, about 17-18 degrees the temperature. Moore went to ground. Culpert couldn't grab it. Terrific play by the Bays on hands and knees. In goes Douglas. Douglas normally uses well. He's pinpoint with a kick. Backwell inside 50. Will he go for home? He may squeeze it through it to behind. Just left it to the right. Let's go to the Norwood bench. Mark.
Nearest the camera there we can see Gav Hughes, who's back from that calf injury. He's missed a fortnight. Also Luke Nitschke and the agitator, Matty Bartamucci.
Bailey takes the kick in, steady. Down the line, looking for Culpert on Moore. Culpert comes from behind, knocks Moore down, takes the ball down to centre half forward, or half forward at least, to Bernoli. Bernoli was strong and quick, slick with the hands. Brett James decides to go back in order to go forward. And lurking inside forward 50 was Carslake, couldn't pull it in. Mitchell, his skills were perfect. On the rebound goes Douglas, knocked it on to his own advantage, does he? Yes, got the great bounce, can release a hand pass, could be a goal coming up, and there is for Graham. Slots it home, well done by the Bays. Advantage by a couple of lucky bounces.
It's a funny game. There's hard work going on in the back lines, and then through the midfield there, it's just really open, as we can see there. Douglas is a class act as well. He read the situation there pretty well, knew if he took the footy he was going to be in strife and get tackled, so knocked it forward. As you mentioned, Neil, a bit of a lucky bounce there, no doubt about that, but then freed it up, and Graham finished off with a good goal. So there's plenty of run from both sides going forward.
I'll tell you what, Glenelg look a much better side with Richard Douglas in this team. He is a gun, and he's going to be an extremely good AFL player, I'm sure. So too maybe Meeson, just got the knockdown, taken by McConnell. Here comes Glenelg again. He's got to do some soft shoe shuffling, and he gets away from Gallagher and kicks it long, hoping for a mark. Duldig reached over the top of Zorzi and took a lovely mark. Well judged, Matthew Duldig, who spent a bit of time in the reserves, and he's just lining them up at the moment.
Well, he's a strong lad, as you can see there. Zorzi got caught under the football, and Duldig just held his ground, and Zorzi couldn't push back into him, and it was a good mark in the end.
For a 19-point lead, goals at the 7, 10 and 12-minute mark. We've ticked into 13 here, so 4 goals in 6 minutes coming up if Duldig can put it through. Lovely kick from Matthew Duldig. Terrific forward when he's on and when he's doing the hard things up forward. That was a lovely mark and a good finish.
It was a good finish, and McConnell was getting a fair bit of the footy across that half-back line and through the centre there, and is a dangerous player because he's a smart player, uses it well. Duldig finished off with a good goal there, but the pressure on the back line for both teams is pretty strong because, as we've mentioned, it's coming through that midfield very quick and putting them under extreme pressure.
Justin McConnell, 7 kicks and a handball already.
Sorry, go Sodas.
Yeah, I was going to say, Trevor Cranston has just come off, so Kirk into the ruck for Glenelg for the first time today.
Tigers living up to reputation. According to the statistics, the best starting team in the SANFL have won 12 opening quarters and lost just 3 times. Campbell got away from a tackler onto his left foot. Drops it over the top looking for Culpert. If he can knock it on, and he does, he's got Gallagher. Gallagher, if he can gather it steady, he's got a chance on a goal here from 40 metres. He did pretty well, but Willits stepped in and took the mark. But Willits, interesting kick, just poked it over the top. Dangerous. They did have support, though, there, the Bays. Yeomans will take the free kick. Quickly gets it on to Willits. Good run from the back by Willits. Really testing Stuart Bound's fitness. No, as we said, Bound has had a hamstring problem. James just spread it, and they work it again through the hands. Norwood, this is their tradition. This is what they do very well. Brett James goes back dangerously into the middle. Maybe they should have stuck with hand passes. Kirkby picks up the crumb. Looks for Duldig on the lead.
And who was involved then? Again, Chiggy.
Yes, Kirkby's a good player. You've got such good skills for your youngsters there now in the Glenelg team, which it stops the turnovers. You hit Duldig on the chest like that, it makes a big difference. Kirkby's been a class player, and that was a beautiful leg out in front of Duldig.
Duldig kicks from right on 50 away to the left.
Yeah, Matty would be a bit disappointed with that. It was from a fair distance, so 50 out, so it was always going to be a reasonably hard kick.
Richard Douglas also involved in the spoiling. Here's McConnell for another possession. Kirkby close to the line. Boundary throw in. And Glenelg really put the foot down. They averaged 20 goals in the last 3 weeks. 24 goals, I should say. So they know how to kick them. And Norwood, well, they struggle. They get to about 12 goals on an average, 12-13, so that's a problem for them.
It is, and Glenelg's winning margin, or average winning margin this year is 61 points, so when they win, they win well. So
they win big. Yeah, they sure do. Out of the back line, this is Jackman, just waits for a good bounce. He was terrific last week, Nick Jackman for them. Besterfield, Bailey, who's sort of just dropped off the pace a little bit. Loose ball, Kirkby, cop one high, no free kick, taken by Gallagher. Gallagher just settles things down and finds Hughes. Hughes, who missed a state game this year with a mystery virus and a heart complaint. He boots forward, and a lovely mark by Cochell out in front of his hands, in front of Sherwood. On a full burst, that's a terrific take. Now, I don't know whether he can get the journey from 50. What does he have short? He had Stewie bound into the pocket, but Cochell, who's been handy for them, he's booted 16 goals, 11 this year. Adam Cochell, he booted 3 last week in their surprise victory, you'd have to say, against North Adelaide. He'll give this a fair hoof. Boy, geez, got onto it. And it floats through. I think he might have just snuck it through for a goal. That is a very impressive kick by Adam Cochell.
That is a very impressive kick, as you mentioned, Michael. He was outside 50, gave it a real boot, and got the carry there. Norwood, as we can see here again, running through the midfield there. Not a lot of pressure through the midfield. This will be an interesting matchup. Cochell's a lot taller than Sherwood. In that situation, didn't really matter because it was on the lead. But that is the one matchup up forward for Norwood, which I think they should be looking to spot up Cochell.
Margin back to 14 points. Kirk with first touch. Coming through was Graham. Didn't take position for the Redlegs. Now Kirk wide. He was beaten by the little man in James. Then to Culpert. He decided to go very wide. Campbell round on his left leg. Good pass for Bound, and he took it well in front of the eyes. Gee, they opened up that space well.
They certainly did, and again, we're talking about the team plans and the disciplines. Certainly, they knew where the footy was going to go. Bound just led there. They had the open area there, and it was always going to be tough for Willits with such a good kick like that.
Down. Will just kick from 40 metres. Sits it up. Good finish.
Well, it's going to be interesting. The pace is pretty hot at the moment, and with this warm weather, it'll be interesting to see which team can maintain it. But it's certainly a shootout at the moment, and as we see that open area there, Bound just running straight in there, and the discipline of Norwood just to put it at the head of the square, finish off with a lovely goal.
Well, it got out to 20 minutes, 20 points the difference at the 15-minute mark. Tell you what, I'd bring an extra set of teeth here that can change them over if I could, Jiggy. But it got out to 20 points at the 15-minute mark. Amazingly, back to 8. Norwood out of the centre again, ball ace. A real old helicopter inside the 50. No mark taken. That was Crouch who was in there. Mules on hands and knees. Brinoli there also. Taken by Blatko. Uses his left boot. That's their first minor score for the afternoon.
Coming up at quarter time, we'll have a look at North against Norwood from last week. A great result for the Redlegs, and it was a close run thing. The Roosters having an opportunity in the dying moments of the match to snatch at least a draw. Big kick in, beautiful kick in from Mitchell. Bound spoiled more, and now he'll get his own crumb. Looks wide, but the hand pass to Ball-Ace. Ball-Ace in turn has Carslake, and he steadies, waits. Blatko comes on the lead. That's where he goes. Blatko will have to stretch for that one. Just a little too much asked of him. Sherwood goes short. Backwell did well to handle the ball and then faked out 2 players. And away he goes. And he's still got some room to move. And he fakes his way past another. Then he delivers a beautiful pass to Mules running on centre wing. Inside forward 50 with the kick. Oh boy, that was good movement.
Again, we see the football brain of Backwell there. Didn't release the footy because there was no one to go to. Had to step around the player, then found Mules out in the wing with a beautiful pass. Mules followed up again with another nice delivery to Kirk, leading hard. Even interesting to see if the big man can go back and kick this important goal late in the quarter would be very handy for Glenelg.
Chicky, was a good move by Mark Micken. He took Kirk out of the ruck, brought Cranston back on, put him up forward. Now Nick Lower looks like he could have his hands full with the big redhead.
Kirk for his 8th goal of the season. The big man kicks from 49 metres and shanks it completely.
And do you reckon the guys on Cooper's Hill like that one right in front of them?
Oh, that's bread and butter for the boys over there. Love that sort of stuff. Big Kurt.
He's kicked 7-2 for the season, so you wonder maybe there's a few out of bounds that we don't know about.
He might have kicked them all from the 10-metre square, I reckon. Culpet at half-back, playing against his old side, the former Carlton player. A couple of ex-Blues out there, Brett Backwell. We've got to work it to Dygan, just inside his defensive 50. On the mark is Smith. Culpet just running past. Dygan just gives it to Culpet. Just about slipped out of his grasp. He goes down looking for Karslake, who went for the one hand. Got it back again. He's got Culpet in a bit of space again. He'll be hot. He releases to Jackman. Jackman loves to run. The kick needs to be good. It's all right to Pfeiffer, who copped one around the ear from McConnell. But he's tough, this young bloke, Pfeiffer. He's about 80 from goal. Loads up with a long kick. Blatko and Hinge. Blatko at the front. Hinge got a knock on it. Taken and snapped across the body. And it's a behind by Ball-Ace. Oh, a golden opportunity there. Perfect crumb for Ball-Ace. You need to kick them.
And as we mentioned earlier, going head-to-head with Backwell at the moment. Backwell has set up a couple of goals for the Bays, so Ball-Ace really needed to get that one just to keep himself in the game.
Just a goal in it. Sherwood quickly from the kick-in, can go to Kirkby at half-forward. Sets a task. He'll come back on his left foot on the wide arc and then look inboard. Nice kick. Gibbs was set up and took it nicely as well. He looks up, goes in for Daldy, got rid of his opponent, forgot about the ball. Eventually it goes over the line. Yes. Forward, right half forward for the Tigers. Again, Nick, they've shown a propensity to be able to take that ball just about the length of the ground from the kick-in.
Yeah, both teams seem to be doing that quite easily at the moment. It's where it'll be interesting to see if the pressure will increase on the midfielders during the game.
Bound, I think, had the better of that contest. The hand pass was slipped out. Back will intercept and said thank you very much. And it's all tied away again. Or rather, they go 2 goals clear, I should say. It was a Norwood hand pass that came out. And it was slipped out there by Crouch.
Backwell's read it really well here again. He's playing so far. He would have had a lot of statistics and has been dangerous with them. Used the ball really well and finished off with a goal there. As we mentioned, late in the quarter will be important. I think it's not going to blow out this game, so every goal just edging away is going to be critical.
A couple of goals to Brett Backwell. 20 and 19 last week. Amazing stats. 20 kicks, 19 handballs last week for Brett Backwell. He set a couple up today too. There is no doubt about that. Back in the centre, Cranston and Bound. Bound knocked it down. Kicked by the Bays, up by Norwood, up forward. Taken by Blatko. Just knocks it down towards Bartamucci, who's on the ground. Just went to ground by Willits. He sits it up. Koshel knocked away by Sherwood. In comes Allen. Good bounce for Blatko. He's got to dish it off. Brunoli, he's kicked one. He won't get another one here as Willits lets it slip through the fingers. Should have taken that mark. A behind.
Maybe just the legs. Sorry, I'll just talk there. Should have called Willits into really giving the take that football.
Bays now, move it short to Backwell at centre half back. Could go short, and he does so. Pulled in there by Ruwalt. Ruwalt looks across the ground, decides to take off. Go to centre half forward, long and high. Finally overrun. It was Kirk almost coming in there. Now Campbell. Now they release the ball to Jackman. He's got a little bit of room to move. Jackman goes for Bailey, misses him out of bounds on centre wing. And a good forward line pressure there again from the Bays, just making it a little difficult for Norwood to spot up their skills. Great contest thus far. 11 points the margin in favour of the Bays. Down, a little bit of a hand to it. Allen was in the back of his opponent. Followed by Brett James, got in there quickly. Lots of experience in those legs of Brett James. Now he takes off, and by hand he goes over the top to Bailey. From 70 metres, he bombs it along, looking for Koshel. Might fall to the back. It doesn't. Koshel at the front, releases the ball in the hope that somebody was there. McConnell was, but unfortunately for Koshel, McConnell is wearing the Bays colours. That's a dangerous kick by Ben Moore. Punched away, and now it comes to Crouch. Inside 50, spots up, couldn't get the man. Hand passes again loose. The Bays should get away with this. McConnell tapped it on intelligently. Backwell's got a runner. Hand pass wasn't the best. Hughes intercepted. Backwell with it back again. Again, Douglas was clever. Smith tries to break a tackle. Could be gone. Umpire calls play on. Douglas clears it.
Douglas's high kick looking for Kirk. Awkward bouncing ball. Dygan's there with James. James with a handball to Jackman. Jackman's got Bailey in an enormous amount of space. He can have a couple of bounces, Stephen Bailey. He may have another one. He's just the one bounce. Taps the ball on the ground. Short kick, spots up bound just outside 50. Diving mark. Didn't get paid. Cranston right there. Good work by Cranston. Got the handball. So the turnover comes and Mules runs from half back for Glenelg. Spots up Gibbs, who's got to go. No free kick. Ducked the head. The hand goes up in the air. Will Gibbs be pinged? No, he won't. That rule is relaxed. Dygan, the man, coming over the top. Oh, Chiggy, what do you think?
Well, it probably needed to be either too high or holding the footy in. Gibbsy did sort of duck his head there, so probably gnawed a bit stiff there.
Bit lucky. Here comes Ruwald. Spears the pass in. Lovely work. And Graham will go back and look at a shot from 40 metres out on a slight angle.
Yes, again, just the skills by foot have been pretty good by Glenelg, especially the delivery to the forward line there. But the forward players are giving Glenelg a good target there, leading hard and giving them the option just to put the footy in front.
11 points the difference in this contest. Glenelg lead to take it out to 17. Matthew Graham, he's booted one. Good looking kick, nails his second. Bays out by 17 points. Pretty impressed with this young man Graham. He moves quite well.
He certainly does. As we saw there, he led very hard. Again, Ruwald just with the pass, delivery beautiful. But Graham 5 to 10 metres in front of his opponent, so no chance here for the Norwood defender. So Glenelg just get that little break leading into quarter time.
Matthew Graham. Nice kick, nice finish. Bitchy wishes he was earning what Ben Graham is in the United States. He signed a contract this week for about $10 million. Nice if he can get it as a punter in the NFL. Ball down to half forward for the Bays, or rather half back for the Bays, and ball ace around on the left foot high. Vlatko should take it, 2 grabs. Barnamucci did some good work in there as well on Gibbs, and that allowed Vlatko to come over the top. Just touching on the 29-minute mark, and in fact Barnamucci has the free kick for that work from Gibbs over the top. Perhaps could have let it go. I mean, Barnamucci was shepherding. He got the free kick. Long run in on the siren and has, wait on it, kicked the minor score. So disappointing end of the quarter for Norwood. Brings the margin back to 16 points. Barnamucci astray with that kick. And at quarter time, it's Glenelg 7-2-44. Norwood 4-3-28. 4-3 is 27, in fact. And it's 4-4-28 after that point. So I'll get it right in a moment.
Well, it was a very open first quarter there by both teams, and it was great footy to watch, but it's certainly going to have an impact on the players as it goes forward. They're running really hard through the midfield, giving their forwards every opportunity, which is also placing a lot of pressure on the opposition defence. So great game of footy at the moment. We're seeing if someone can crack it open soon.
Yes, well, the Redlegs certainly, well, they started impressively, they waned a bit, but look, they're coming to this match with plenty of form. Last week beating North Adelaide, one of the form sides of the competition.
Yes, that was a big win for them last week. They held on, obviously. North came back at them pretty hard at the end, but again, it's just I suppose the belief Norwood have just to keep working hard, sticking to their team rules as we've seen today. They've done that very well. They move the ball quickly, get it into their forward line as well, leave that head of the square open, as we can see the situation there. Got some big players in Cockshell bound back this week. It's a pretty formidable forward line they've got there, and they move the ball well and give their forwards every opportunity.
You mentioned Cockshell. Yes, he had 5 kicks last week, 4 marks, and he kicked 3 goals too, so he was important for them. And late in the game, the Redlegs really came with a flurry. They almost were able to snatch victory. In fact, and it'll be coming up in a moment, they did have a shot on goal with just moments left.
Yes, North are a good team and they're not going to give in, but that's why I think this win is even more impressive, and it was just critical to keep Norwood in touch with the 5, and now they're certainly right in the mix there. Probably a little bit more important to Norwood than to North maybe, and that may be what held them, allowed them to hold on and win the game.
Here's one of Cochel's 3 goals. Brett James with 36 possessions and 6 marks in this match. Big possession winner Nick Jackman, who went from South Adelaide to Norwood, and he finished with 26 possessions and 10 marks at centre half back. Did a very good job. Nick Gillow blundering the goal face with that one. And this was the highlights from late in the game, and you'll see the ball sprung in, and Matty Campbell has this for a draw. Sprays it just moments later. The siren sounded at Prospect, and it was a 6-point loss for North Adelaide. An upset, yes, but the Redlegs certainly deserved their victory.
They certainly deserved it. Campbell probably panicked. He had more time there to run into the goals and finish it off, and make a certainty, but under pressure like that, you can see how he panicked.
Let's look and confirm that score with Norwood, the visiting team. 10-13-73 over North Adelaide, 10-7-67, and for the Redlegs also impressive for their backmen to be able to hold North Adelaide, very high-scoring side, to just 10 goals for the afternoon at Prospect. So a great match, that one, and I'm certain that Norwood would have been very, very happy to come into this match with that sort of form. Let's have a listen to Trevor Hill talking to his players.
Unfortunately, it's our use of the ball that's really let us down. We've actually coughed it up, and on rebounds, it becomes pretty much a shootout. So, you know, you just have to have greater pride when we haven't got the ball. Now, we also have to make sure that when they have a kick out...
Trevor Hill, very instructional, has a background in teaching, and he is very pointed in what he wants.
Oh, I think he's doing a great job with this team. Not a high-profile coach when he got the position, but as you said, he's teaching the guys well. He's got them disciplined, sticking to their plans. He's doing a good job.
When we do go forward, we must go forward. We started to sort of hedge back and go backwards and crab-like in our motion. And we need to get the ball in with a bit of purpose and a little bit more speed, and allow Bowney and Cock to go up hard, and Blatz, who are really providing good targets, and Bruno and those blokes at ground level can actually read it. But this time, Bruno and those boys, when we pick up the ball, let's go forward. Don't kick around your body too much. Back yourself in with a bit of toe and head at goals. Now, in terms of... probably wasted, but there's a lot of good work in there as well. So don't forget that, you know. But all we have to do is cut out the crappy stuff, and I reckon the good stuff will then start to make sure...
Well, we can hear the man there, the coach, Trevor Hill, just having a chat there about the boys. As Chicky said, very instructional. Now, Norwood have an undermanned in size terms, their defence. Last week they were great against the Roosters, but when you look at guys like Lower, Jackman and Zorzi, Jackman's the tallest player at 6'1". They're going up against the players the likes of Doldig, Kirkby and also Smith, who are well over 6'2", all of them. They did a great job against North. Be a big chance today to try and quell the taller players of Glenelg. Now, Scotty Borlace has been in great touch this season. He had 31 touches last week, averaging 27 a game at the moment. He's been picking up the mouse, Brett Blackwell. Blackwell's already slotted 2 goals. They line up on each other in the centre of the ground. Then as soon as the ball's bounced, it's just go for any way you like and just try and chalk up the posies between those two.
Yes, and they're very successful, both of them, as we look at the clearance factor for Borlace. Very important out of the middle this afternoon.
Well, they are both great players. They're great to watch. They carry the footy. They've got good skills. They work hard. They're tough players. It's going to be a great contest between both of them today. Backwell, with his couple of goals, may have just had the edge.
Quickly through the tipping for the week with Carol Benison. Congratulations to her for winning the tipping for the week. abc.net.au/SA Footy. Get online, get your tips in, and we'll get underway with the second quarter. Here's Michael.
16-point lead to Glenelg. Good first quarter. They've won another one, so they're keeping that record right intact. Up goes Meeson, taken by Backwell. Just the push off, paddle toward Gibbs. Gibbs has got a player running in Panozzo. Panozzo's high kick, really to nobody. Now, interesting, this bounce, it just rolls out of play. Bailey hoping for it to just get on the pointy end and get back to him. No such luck. 44, plays 28. Fast opening. 11 goals in that first term. Wonderful football. Cranston just got there with a short throw in. Back Wolves got to hook it back in, but in the effort to do that, he ran himself out of bounds and will have a boundary throw in. Chiggy, haven't seen too much that the coaches have done. We'll have a quick look at this. Just there. Good call by the boundary umpire, you'd say.
No, Michael, I think obviously both coaches reasonably happy with how things have gone. There's been no major changes on key players that I can pick up at this stage.
Cranston got it down there. Put his body on the line. That's terrific for a big bloke to get it to Moore. His kick smothered. Well done, Meeson. It falls to Brett James, who got it to Bailey. Bailey didn't want to kick with his left, so he went with his right looking for Vlatko, and Hinge did a wonderful job to keep his eyes on the football and knock it out of play. That is terrific backwork by John Hinge.
He's played Vlatko well today, Hinge, because Vlatko again got a little bit of a height advantage on Hinge there, but Hinge jumping at it, giving himself every opportunity to spoil the footy.
Boundary throw in. A lot of players around this football. Falls to Carslake, who just wheels around and uses Brett James. James kicks it high, hoping for a mark. Well done, Sherwood. Oh, snagged beautifully and snapped through for a goal. Magnificent work by Pfeiffer. And the Redlegs have got the first of the second term. Lovely roving goal by Darren Pfeiffer.
It was great finish by Pfeiffer, but the setup by James sitting off the back of the throw-in pack there. Again, Glenelg will have to tighten up on that. You can't let a player of James's quality sit back there and have deliver the footy like that. But Pfeiffer read it beautifully off the pack and didn't even break and just snuck it around the body to finish off with a lovely goal.
The margin, 10 points. James out of the middle again. They work it well through their hands, don't they? Hughes down to full forward he goes. Vlatko takes a great mark under pressure. He's there, but he just couldn't get the arms around.
Vlatko certainly coming in like that, as you mentioned, Neil. Hinge couldn't get it to the football there. Vlatko running at the footy out in front of him there. So here it is, Norwood clearing it out of the in that quick movement, as we mentioned. Hinge right with him, but couldn't do anything there. Body well, Vlatko.
He's kicked one already this afternoon to have 27 goals for the season. He kicked 27 last season, so he's a little bit ahead of where he was last year. And doesn't go ahead by kicking that minor score away to the left. You would have expected he should have finished from that sort of distance.
1 goal, 2, and here's a man who can probably go to America and do some punting. Jiggy.
He's got a lovely leg on him, and I'm sure he'll consider it if he gets the opportunities with the pay package to get over there.
Let's hope he finishes his career at the Bay before he goes. Nick, we don't want to get him preemptively over there, on you. Here's Kirkby on the wing. Rory Kirkby. A bit of tape on that shoulder. Really quite sure what to do. Decides to keep it close to the line to look for Cranston. Loose ball to be won. Douglas in there, along with Nitschke, who's on the ground for Norwood. And the umpire comes in and we'll have a ball up. Umpire Pfeiffer, right in the middle of things. Just in Glenelg's attacking zone, just outside their 50. Well taken by Allen. He kicks it high. And a mark by Gibbs. Or is it a free kick? Now, someone's been pushed out in that, but I think Gibbs has been paid the mark. Lovely play by Allen just to set it up, and Gibbs, well, terrific overhead and also on the crumb. He kicked a lovely goal in the first term. Booted 6 last week. His dad wore number 2, but he's got number 3, making his own way. Good-looking kick, never in doubt. Gibbs has got his second, and the Bays are out by 15 points.
Yes, Tylan again just worked hard there to break the tackle, didn't cough the footy up, and that is a great jump at it by Bryce Gibbs. We just keep mentioning how good he is with his skills, his overhead, he's under his knees. There's not really weakness in his game, and inside 50 again is going to be pretty much 100% goal strike for him.
8-2-50 plays 5-5-35. 15 points that margin. And again, Douglas out of the middle for the Tigers. Looked like he got one high. Redlegs repel that one and share the ball. Gee, that was a dangerous hand pass, but Doigan picked it up well. And they move the ball along the wing to Bailey. Bailey can straighten, goes with the right leg, long and high at the back. Awkward by Koshel. Didn't fall very well, just on his backside. Backwell, again, his experience. Just waiting, almost waited too long. Got it out to Mules. Mules can come down centre wing. Gets a couple of options. Now he's run them out of position. Short to Moore. Moore quickly down the line was the best he could do. Kirkby, if he turns, he's got McConnell inside 50, but he couldn't get possession of the ball. Justin McConnell had run strongly into that forward 50. 6 minutes into the second quarter. Bays have held sway since about midway through the opening term. Norwood keep coming though. Hughes thrown out of there. Culprit turning, throwing, and getting pinched for it. McConnell. Daldick comes on the lead, won't get there, or will he? No. Ball just falls short. Nitschke worked it to Jackman, came to Borlace, and now they'll hold it up.
Borlace just runs off the line, got the kick away, looking for a mark. Pfeiffer just stood his ground at the back, Hinge, got to get around Ben Moore in the end, found Douglas in the middle. Douglas normally uses pretty well. He's got Ruwald in short, and a little bit shorter also, he's got a man in Sundqvist, who spent the first part of this match on the bench, Jared Sundqvist. A Bay man originally, then went to Sydney. Good mark, Smith. Just held his ground, good stretch. He doesn't kick many goals, Smith, but he needs to kick this one.
And it was a good take. He's one player that probably hasn't been providing Glenelg with many options up forward so far in this game, and he got caught with a quick one coming out of the centre there a couple of minutes ago where he was behind his player. So this could do his confidence a world of good if he can go back and kick this goal.
This is a good stretch. Just held it in. A couple of grabs. He's booted 9-5 before this kick. Jeff Smith. 45 metres out. Just pokes at it and pushes it away to the right. Doesn't have much of a preparation for goal kicking there.
Never looked like going through that one, did he? He didn't go back and kick through the footy. Just gave it a real little poke, and disappointing effort there by Jeff Smith.
Ball comes straight back in through Moore, drops it for Daldick, not the greatest of kicks. Across the front came Campbell with the spoil. To ground went Borlace. Campbell picked it up. Jackman, Campbell, had to release it to Culprit. Looks around, turns and twists. Interesting hand pass again down the line. Running onto it was Gallagher. Did well to keep it away from Smith. Now Allen, he'll get taken across the line. No, he won't. Didn't get that far. Taken to ground before that. Mark Micken be well pleased with what he's seen thus far. Moore in traffic. Got one high. Again, one to upset the boys on Cooper's Hill. Mitchell just drops it in beautifully to Douglas. Had a look, decided he had time. Helicopter kick towards Daldick. Ruwalt taken off the ball. Oloa goes down the line. Don't know if he meant that, but he found Campbell. Now Carslake can go in board to Borlace. Borlace then out again. They just keep sharing that ball around. They're just hoping for somebody to open up and get free to be able to get a nice kick away. It's Gallagher now. Gallagher forced onto his left foot though. Lovely little toe poke that he got out in the end towards Brinoli. Brinoli can centre it up. Not the greatest of kicks. McConnell cut it off for the Bays, and they'll attack down this side of the ground.
Plays well forward and back, McConnell. He's been a goal kicker for them in the last couple of weeks. spreads a lovely kick and finds Hinge with plenty of run. He can carry the football, ducks back inboard, hoping for somebody in the centre of the ground. Cranston's the man that's got to go. Meeson knocked it down. Good roving Ruwald. I thought he could have been paid a free kick against on Meeson. Pushed off. Well, bouncing around is Smith. Terrific work by Jeff Smith. Back well. Fancy footwork. Good kick. Willits drops down. Gibbs just provided a contest behind, and Willits couldn't take the mark. It falls to James. James spots up and finds Hughes. Hughes goes with a lovely pass. Terrific work to Pfeiffer. Was it touched off the boot? I think it was, and the umpire will ball it up. Crowd don't like it. I think it must have been touched in transit.
That's the second one. Willits has just looked a little bit soft in the hands taking the footy today, so just something he needs to work on there. But running down from the back line, providing plenty of support.
Shouldn't be lacking any confidence. He's on the verge of getting a game with Port Adelaide Power, but he needs to hold on to them if he's going to make the next step. Gibbs, he'll work Lower over. Lower did terrifically well to bottle that football up and not allow Gibbs to come away with it. Graham's held without the football. Gallagher had to grab him. He's not happy. He's a bit frustrated. Put the hand up and said, "Oh, I didn't mean that. I don't want 25. It's too close to goal." Graham, good kick, finds Gibbs, who's run off. He's 35 metres out and shoots for goal and misses the lot.
Well, it's good to see he's human. He can make a mistake there anyway, but Gibbs should have done better than that, Bryce, with that, but under a little bit of pressure there and out on the full.
Well, Gallagher got it from Jackman, and Jackman ran on. He's got a new lease of life since coming from South Adelaide, Nick Jackman. He's got to get around Willits. Willits, good tackle. Terrific work by Willits. He's stunned by that miss just a moment ago with the mark. Ruwald, a little bit too hot for Doldig. Doldig's got to go back and look for Willits. Zorzi was there also. Carslake, Jackman, eyes on the football. So too Backwell, over the top. Here's a chance for Doldig. He lines them up. He had a man in space. The handball to Willits. Was there a lack of talk? Nick Chigwidden, he went for a goal and probably shouldn't have.
He did. He's your key forward, and he saw the goals in front of him. I suppose that you can't really be too critical for him having a shot there, because you don't want to overuse the football as well, which Glenelg has been guilty of in the past from time to time.
Scoring's dried up a little bit early in this second term. Doldig's loose again. Can snap immediately. What's this one like? No, away to the right. One to the left, one to the right.
The main difference, I think, Neil, in this quarter is the delivery into Glenelg's forward line has really dropped off. The first quarter, they were pinpointing the players, leading out hard. Now it seems to be a little bit more rushed, as we thought the pressure might increase a bit coming through the midfield, and there's not the clean possession and taking the forward line there was in the first quarter.
From one former skipper in Nick Chigwidden to another former skipper, Benny Moore. He's on the bench just receiving a lot of attention to his left hamstring. Looks very tight there and also across his back. So plenty of work by the physios on Benny Moore to see if he can come back.
Thanks, Mark. And Jackman tried to fox one on the boundary umpire, but he was right there. That kick out of bounds on the full. Ruwald to Mitchell. Oh, did that go 15? Well, get your tape measure out, Chiggy. Or get sodas onto the tape measure job. Just the required distance, and no doubt about this, David Mitchell will make the distance. He's kicked this year a lot more points than he's kicked goals. 15 goals, 22. Amazing stuff. He's having a few shots at goal. Lovely shot of this. David Mitchell from 45. Just across the face. Mark taken, was it? It's a behind.
Yeah, not an easy kick from there. Pretty acute angle. He has got a lovely leg, but yeah, just lacking a little bit of accuracy at the moment.
Again, Norwood quick to bring the ball in. They've got it on centre wing with Blatko under pressure from Hinge. There's a lot of pressure in that too. Blatko looks up towards centre half forward. Not the greatest of kicks. Didn't advantage the man in Pfeiffer, but he took a great climb. Now he turns around and drops it into the pocket. Campbell was the target. Punch came from McConnell. Sherwood towards the line. Down the line with the hand pass. Nitschke did well, kept it in. Bailey, what's his left leg like? He still wants to use the right. Goes in by hand to Campbell, who just knew as he kicked it that it wasn't going anywhere near the goals.
Bailey again providing a bit of a few options there for Norwood. He's been a pretty good player, I think, today for Norwood out on that outer wing.
Connell has the choice of Backwell short. He's called the play on. Now it's a game of cat and mouse. Takes a bounce and goes in short with a pass to Graham. Graham to Mitchell. I think he'd bang it long. Doesn't let me down. All the way down looking for Kirkby at the back. Great mark at the front by Jackman.
Lovely mark to Lower. Lower's short kick. It's marked by Nitschke on the wing outer side. Luke Nitschke started the game on the bench. Chips it in short and finds Borlace. Scott Borlace captained the stateside to a victory earlier this year against Western Australia. Kicks to Kochel, who can't take the mark. No push. Boys on the hill. Would love to see a free kick over there to the Redlegs. Cranston working hard. Taken by Gallagher. Gallagher just hooks it across. Now Hughes has got to go. Knocks the ball away. Gibbs just paddled away. Got possession now. Oh, he's a good player, this young kid. Just clears the area. Oh, free kick surely will go to Douglas against Lower. Douglas wanted to play on advantage, but the umpire said you run into a brick wall, you've got to come back. In a bit of space is Gibbs. Lovely chip pass. He's about to get nabbed. That terrific play by Hughes, who ran him down. Taken by Borlace. Borlace kicks it long. The target's been Pfeiffer. He can't take the mark. Knocking on is Campbell. In goes Brinoli. He's got pace. Panozzo's got him. Good work by the Bays defence. Mules steadies it down. He's got Graham in a little bit of space at half back. Graham about to be shut down by Campbell. Just caught one of the chops and kept going. Oh, he's going to get run down by Campbell. Brilliant play, Bryce Campbell. Oh, he was on the treadmill, Graham. Oddly kick by Campbell to Culpert. Finds his mark. Pete Culpert. That is a very high kick. Looking for Kochel. Can't take the mark. Blatko in there. Defence working hard. Panozzo to Sherwood.
McConnell's still down after that big leap by Kochel. Brett James from 40 metres. It's play on. It was touched anyway. Bays will clear it. Gibbs again. Mules is on. He decides against it. Instead goes short. Bound gets enough of it. Knocks it away. Stuart Smith pushes off Bound. Through the centre square they have players. One of them is Sundqvist. Now he gets it on. Nicely done to Yeomans. From 40 metres, Yeoman drives long and way to the right. But they extend that lead up to 20 points again. The Bays just pushing it. Let's have a look at Campbell. Oh, I'll give you one and it'll slow you down, and that's what happened. He grabbed him after that.
The old coat hanger.
1 goal 5 Glenelg in this term. And they missed a couple of reasonably easy ones too. Hughes, short kick. Carslake had to go. It was a dangerous one. Douglas was there. Over to Lower. Lower about to get tackled by Gibbs. He got his kick away. A lovely mark taken by Mitchell. Mitchell immediately on with play. A 65-metre pass. A drill goes to Backwell. Backwell's got a man running in space in Gibbs. How can he get 15 metres in the clear? Gibbs, he missed a moment ago. Will he miss again? I don't think so. Two got a player for that, Bryce Gibbs. They finally get one, Glenelg, and Gibbs has got 3.
Yes, Bryce Gibbs didn't look pretty off the boot actually, but was effective. Again, what set that up was that quick, long, powerful kick from Mitchell coming off the half-back line. Allowed players to get free like Gibbs running forward there. Not an easy kick running in on that 45-degree angle, but quality player. And Glenelg very much needed that goal after, as you mentioned, kicking quite a few points. He's caught it.
I don't know, but there must be some good youngsters running around in the Vic under-18 competition if they think somebody's better than this kid Gibbs as the #1 draft selection. He is quality. Bays will go forward again. Spread the ball to the far side of the ground to Graham. Graham has Backwell. Backwell can run on. It's just a matter of selecting a target. Doldig's the man. Through the hands over the back, Kirkman. He fell to ground. Now he's in trouble and will be pinched, will he? Hang on, the umpire says, no, I'll take it.
Again, Backwell setting up a play coming out of the midfield there. He's had plenty of the footy today and been very damaging with it.
Backwell again, somehow kept control of the ball. Check side goal. Right on cue, wait on the umpire.
I think he might have run out of bounds.
It was out of bounds. Right you are, Michael. Brett Backrell certainly didn't think it was.
That's not the way it's supposed to go, really.
Maybe when the ball stood upright. Now it's back in. Stuck it on the back there too. Get a ball up. It's dangerous territory, isn't it? It's 26 points to margin. Starting to get on the edge of danger for the Redlegs. They'll clear it though from the defensive area this time.
Bartamucci got it to bound to Bailey. Just loads up a long kick. Sherwood at the back. Just knocked it away. Well, it's been a good battle, Cochill and Sherwood. They're probably just broke even at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. And you can see Sherwood took 2 or 3 steps back there to give himself room to run and jump, which he's going to have to do because of Cochill's height difference there.
Very experienced defender, Paul Sherwood, nicknamed Forrest, understandably. In goes Bartamucci, Mules. Another ball up. He's been a terrific player for the Bays, hasn't he, Paul Sherwood, since coming about 29, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, it was. He's certainly been, I would say, probably the best recruit Glenelg's had in the last probably 10 years nearly. He's been fantastic.
Fantastic too, this man, Stewie Bound, Graham. And I think someone held on to Graham. Advantage will pay. Kirk goes to Douglas. Kirk Douglas, that's a famous name. Long kick, looking for Gibbs. Gibbs won't take the mark, but this man will in Lower. That's a terrific mark by Lower. Got it away to Bailey. All love and money with quick movement of the football. It's normally a goal. Lower kept on running. Got it to Dygan. Dygan cuts through the middle. Oh, in space is Bartamucci. He can run. He can run and draw a player in. He decides to load it up and thread it through. Matthew Bartamucci said, I'll take you on. I'll back my goal-kicking skill and pop it through.
Yes, Lower certainly set that up again. Look at this. Both players wrestling there, holding on. That is a fantastic grab under extreme pressure, falling to the ground, and then ran on as well to get the footy. Quick hands. Norwood, this is where they're dangerous. As Trevor Hill said at quarter time, they need to get into their forward line quickly, as they did here. Releases players, finished off with a goal, and Glenelg controlled the play there for the last sort of 10 minutes without being too damaging. Norwood hit back with a goal.
20 points the margin. Kirk with a solid bump. Ball ace is still down, and I think he's bleeding in the middle of the ground. Jackman should clear the ball defensive area for Norwood. Goes wide to Carslake on the run. We know he's quick. Nobody's going to catch him from behind. And we've got a pause in play for a blood rule. I think you'll find Tim Pfeiffer has called up play. And Scotty Ball-Ace clearly from that knock, as I mentioned in the middle, big bump by Kirk. Ball-Ace, I guess you could say that was free running blood and has to come off under the blood rule. We'll just see.
Well, might have been the head.
Back of the head, yeah. Maybe is that Allen in there? Just a rebound. Yeah. Ooh. Off Kirk and onto Allen. Side ball, corner pocket.
Ended up with the red.
Scotty Ball-Ace there, just rushing off to the change rooms there. Looks like he might get a couple of stitches there just on the right-hand side of his face. And some good news for Bay supporters. Benny Moore seems to be running up and down the boundary line. Looks like he's recovered from that hamstring tightness.
You do wonder about pulling up the play then. I think the rule must say that if there is free running blood, the game has to be held up. But Ball-Ace was going off. He wasn't involved in the play, and the Redlegs were on the march down the far side of the ground. So I don't know if they would have been all that pleased. Now coming the other way, it's the Tigers through Willits. Awkward-looking bounce, effective-looking kick. Doldick couldn't take it. Over the back, Jackman leading the chase for the ball. Under pressure from Smith. Goes down the line cleverly. Now you have the numbers here, the Redlegs. Nitschke's pass was pretty good. Pfeiffer came from a long way back, cuts through the centre square and goes long into the open space, looking for Cochell, was clearly held. And Sherwood gets away with it and gets away with the ball as well. Paul Sherwood breaks for the Tigers. Down the far side of the ground to Kirkby. Bailey knocks it out. No, just knocks it away. Now it'll be in the back just to upset the Leeds fans a bit more.
Oh, the binoculars on a couple of them up there. I reckon if they could jump the fence, they'd do some damage, that's for sure. Here it is, in the back. Oh, should have probably pulled him back. Kirkby's got it. Technically, that free kick's there. Just needed to pull him back. Kirk, awkward bounce. Carslake. Legs have got to reload. They need another goal just to make it interesting before half-time. We've ticked into 25 minutes. Crouch, standing start. Koshel, will he take the mark this time? Hinge did okay. Roving is Vlatko. Ruwalt went in. That's tough. He is a tough competitor, Mark Ruwalt. Out to a good player in Graham. Graham's about to get caught by Brinoli. The skipper in Mules ducks around a couple. All got caught. Fed the handball out all right to Graham. Graham looks into the pocket. McConnell has to go. Bound. That's a terrific mark by Bound. Eyes for the football. Judged it well. Hughes has got a spot up, and it's Nitschke. Nitschke to Dygan. Oh, they fiddle around with the ball in the defensive 50. Nitschke's kick is all right. Well done. Taken by Crouch. Cruising past is James. James punches the kick to Koshel. A couple of grabs, and Adam Koshel's got it. Well, we said he was on the edge of his distance when he kicked that goal from outside 50 in the first quarter. He'll take a better kick, I'd say, to kick it from here. But he's going to have a crack at it, the number one, who's kicked one goal. On the lead, out in front of his face. Good mark. Can he cap it with a goal? He's got a fair piece of it and just drifts away for a behind. That's a tough kick from there. A little bit more difficult than that one in the first term.
He has got a thumping leg, though. Again, he got the distance there, just the accuracy, but it was a fantastic lead. Sherwood was right with him, but he's got some talent, Koshel. There's no doubt about that, and can be very damaging if they get it quickly to him.
19 points to Margin Mitchell. Goes for centre wing and distance. And the legs just take it out of bounds. Dangerous wall down there, as we know, at Norwood. The Wood Street wall of this grandstand. You're close in on the action, but I tell you what, the players are close to that wall. Down. Ruwalt dropped it. Karslake tried to use his pace. McConnell held on. Vardamucci skirts away. Umpire calls it advantage play on. They work the ball to Hughes. Inside 50. Brinoli got rid of the ball somehow. Umpire said he was tripped. Richard Douglas looks up and says, oh, you've got to be kidding. The Leeds fans say, oh, it's about time. I don't know if he displays it that effectively, but certainly it was a low tackle by the end of it.
It's going to be a very costly decision there for Glenelg. Should finish off, go back and kick this goal, but yeah, it was one of those borderline ones. Went in Norwood's favour. And the young fella not too happy with it.
Still no. We'll look at the tape and he'll still be shaking his head next week, I reckon.
Brinoli had goals for the season, added to by one already this afternoon, and he's away to the left.
See there, Douglas got the tackle there, did hold it. The arms did slip down late, and there's no doubt that he tripped over, but didn't make the most of the opportunity anyway.
1 goal, 2 to Brinoli, as Gibbs can't haul the football in before a boundary throw on the outer side wing. Bryce Gibbs, impressive for him, and the man just behind him was Brett Backwell just a second ago, who's also been in scintillating form for the Bays. Cranston, impressed with his ruck work, Cranston. He does get into good position and get a palm. He's a very good palmer of the ball, Cranston.
And he's just great work ethic. He works hard. He's not, you wouldn't say the tallest ruckman going around or the most talented, but he gives you 100% every time.
No question about that. Players are getting a bit tired close to half-time. And
Jared Sundquist there, Michael, just receiving some attention there. Copped a knock in the around the abdomen there. Looks very tender. He's come off the ground, obviously, to be addressed there and replaced Benny Moore, who has come back on.
A little bit of push and shove to go into the half-time break. Big John Meeson, the young ruckman, who's on the Crows list at the centre of it all, and these sides will head off through a race together, so makes it a little bit dangerous. We just check out how it all finished, and Cranston wasn't happy with Meeson's attention, and Meeson wasn't happy with Cranston's reaction, and so they do a bit of dancing, and at half-time It's Glenelg that's done its best in the first half. 9-7-61 leading Norwood. 6-7-43.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
ABC2 is the place to catch all your netball action every Friday night. Experience all the drama and excitement of our premier netball competition live. It's the 10th anniversary of this highly regarded comp, and any number of teams are set to challenge for the title. Will the Melbourne Phoenix rule the court again this year, or will there be new champions crowned for this season? Catch Netball 2006 live Friday nights on ABC2.
Yes, the Thunderbirds getting up last night by 12 goals over the Firebirds, and looking forward to those finals, which click around in just a couple of weeks' time. And as we look at the stats from this match, the goal-kicking stats show us that Bryce Gibbs, well, he keeps on keeping on, doesn't he?
Well, he's on target again to get another 6 this week, but he's worked hard in the first half and played pretty good football. Backwell again's been an important player with 2, and Graham snuck in with a 2, and as we can see with Norwood, all single goal kickers, 1 to all their main goal kickers, main forwards there. Look at the stats. It's interesting. You see Norwood have had more kicks and handballs than Glenelg, but are trailing at the moment. Centre breaks are pretty even there. Inside 50 is pretty even. It's a good tight game and could go any way still.
And so does the news from the rooms in terms of injuries. Are there anything or any major things to worry about?
Well, there is for Glenelg. We saw just before the halftime siren, Jared Sundquist received a little bit of attention there. He got a knock on the hip. He hasn't joined in the warm-up when the Glenelg boys came back on the ground, so he looks very doubtful at the moment, although the club said he could return, but I've got a feeling that we won't see him again. Now, Jeff Smith, he's been pretty quiet in terms of stats today, just the 4 possessions up to halftime, but he has been doing a little bit of physical work around about onto the ground there, just asserting his work on the ground. We see there just a little bit of action, asserting himself there, knocking Carslake around and also Bryce Campbell. He came back into the side last week after missing a fortnight with a back injury, but he's doing a little bit of work. He rucked last week with Cranston and helped him out against Marich and Micklejohn. And although, as we mentioned, he's not really setting the stat sheet alight, he's certainly making his presence felt out on the ground.
Thanks for that, Soda's just about ready to go with the second half. Before we do, halftime scores from other grounds. North by 14 points over West Adelaide, so Westies hanging in there, and Centrals by 53 over Sturt, and that is really becoming embarrassing for the Double Blues this season. Here's the second half, and here's Michael Maney.
Thank you, Neil. Will be a top second half of football, I'm sure. 11 goals kicked in the first quarter, just 4 in that second term. Glenelg currently in 4th position, Norwood in 6th, and Glenelg going for 4 in a row. Moore can't get it out of the centre. Cranston did, but the umpire had blown the whistle for another ball up. Here's Ben Moore, former Richmond player and former captain of this team. A lot of leadership out there, taken by James, talking of leadership, to Hughes, who can keep running. He's like lightning, an old helicopter. It bounces through for a behind, and disappointing finish by Gavin Hughes.
Yes, he certainly, Norwood would have loved to got off with a good goal there to start off that third quarter. Interesting now we see that Willits has gone over to Vlatko, so a bit better match-up for height there, so it'll be interesting to see how Willits handles Vlatko.
Kick in long, looking for Hinge. Big fly, couldn't pull it in. Now Allen in the struggle on the ground with Pfeiffer, who wants to take him to ground, and Allen showing good leg strength. Interesting wrestling contest, those two. Mason took front position, brought it down nicely. Backwell read it best. Hand pass just slightly astray. McConnell ducked ahead, got one. Kicking in danger. Out the back, Mules running for him. Hinge stationary to his right, and he's taking his time. Goes short to Smith on a long lead. Wants to hand pass. Umpire lets him get away with it. I thought he was perhaps playing on there. Kirkby made a strong lead at centre-half forward. He's ignored it, and he still wants somebody to lead up. In the end, he just bombs it high, and Meeson should grab this, and he does. Oh, it was set up for the big guy. Now, he's got really nobody to kick to, and that gives us time again to look at it. Meanwhile, he drops it in short to Gallagher. He takes off. A bit of movement. Lovely pass. Finds Pfeiffer, who looks around and waits. Vlatko goes on the lead to the pocket. but he drops it over the top instead for Jackman backing back. Stretch Kirkby. And Jackman will have a shot on goal from perhaps 40, 45 metres.
Hinge will have to change his game plan now too. He's standing Pfeiffer, so Pfeiffer's going to be much more of a leader than when he was on Blackco with his height.
Interesting, the thing that made the difference in that move, it was Gallagher deciding to take off. Previously, the whole game was a bit static, and then Gallagher took off and created something. So Jackman, difficult angle, not happy with the kick. Good reason to be not happy with the kick. Immediately dropped his head. He knew that the ball had slid slightly off to the right.
It's been a pretty slow start to the third quarter for both teams here. Like, there's not any team coming out and trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck at the moment.
Well, Norwood actually has this season a losing record in the first, third and fourth quarters, so the second is their best. And Glenelg's statistically worst quarter is the third. 3 wins, 12 losses. Doesn't hold good for the game, really, does it?
We may see some records broken this afternoon. Sherwood got it to McConnell. Hughes couldn't shut him down. Loose kick toward half forward, and there's Jackman on the opposite side of the ground with his opponent Kirkby. Good player, Jackman. On Port Adelaide's rookie list going back a few years ago. Nick Jackman, and I'm a South Adelaide player and doing well at the legs. Over the back, Ruwalt in traffic. Gee, how did he get rid of that? I thought he threw it. Taken by Allen. Good handball. Here's an opportunity. Gibbs, oh, just classily around them all and just slots a lovely goal. Oh, he had all the time in the world. Could have stopped for a cup of tea and a biscuit.
And that's class players, isn't it? They've always got the time to be able to step around players. Never look like they're rushed. And again, Glenelg just got it out. Gibbs had a bit of space there. Didn't rush the kick, though. Waited till he was absolutely balanced and had a clear shot at goal and finished off. And that's his 4th goal. On target for backing up for two 6-goal games in a row. So class act, and Norwood just need to watch him up forward.
Value for touches today, Bryce. Gibbs just 8 kicks and 2 handballs.
He balked 2 Norwood players and even took on one of his own before he decided, well, I'll steady now and just kick a goal.
Dare we say Jarman-esque?
Yes. Yes, you can say that. Whether he turns out as good as D. Jarman, we'll wait and see. Backwell was clever. Looked for McConnell. Hughes used his pace, went around McConnell. McConnell did well to hang on, and now he's gone. Surely gone. Oh, well, released the ball just at the last moment. They struggle on. Allen with a hand pass out of there. Bailey got one in the back. Redlegs fans say, we remember, umpire. We remember what happened in the first half.
I think they may think they've been a bit harshly dealt with by the umpires today, but yeah, it certainly was there. Benny Moore just
money for touches, really. Money for touches for Ben Moore. Bailey goes high. He won't bring rain this afternoon. Vlatko went up, came down awkwardly. Gallagher goes for the line.
Yeah, Vlatko got up from that all right, but he certainly landed awkwardly and got high. So he can have a good jump at the footy. Here we go. You can see it was a beautiful leap, but wasn't that close to the footy and did land awkwardly. Lucky he didn't hurt his shoulder there.
Bayes working forward. Backwell was brave. Bumped to the ground. Now he's in trouble. Wait on the umpire. Again, Redlegs fans won't be impressed with that call. Brett Backwell still with the ball tucked under the arm.
I think that is a good call though there, and because Backwell was flat out for the football there. Both players from Norwood and Glenelg were, and it was just a good contest. Umpire did well just to let that play on.
Campbell, clever, good vision. Doigan tried to shake the tackle, didn't get a good hand pass away, was lucky the boundary was there.
Top ball getters in the game so far. Brett James has had 17 for Norwood. For the Bays, Justin McConnell 16 and Brett Backwell 15.
Boundary throw in taken by Gallagher. Tumbling ball. Mitchell below his knees, couldn't get there. Hinge can. Brinoli, terrific tackle. Reward the tackler. Good effort. Advantage rule. Pfeiffer from 40. Loads up and makes no mistake. Wonderful tackle by Brinoli on that man Hinge. The turnover came. Lovely work. And Brett James with a handball just set it all up.
Yeah, great tackle there. Just the pressure, forward line pressure, Brett James, he's probably the best in the league with his hands, and it was a long sweeping hand pass that set that opened the play up for Norwood. You can see just at the bottom of the screen there. And Pfeiffer finished off with a good goal. Had space there, but Brett James, the tackle first, and then the Brett James hand pass set that up.
Margin back to 17 points. Hughes got it off the lower. Awkward kick. Wanted to get it on the boot in a hurry. Got it out of bounds, centre wing. Bays fans out there squinting into the sun. Beautiful day at Norwood. Absolute postcard day. Another good crowd here at the parade. Neeson at the back got it down. And there was a tackle in there. Umpire calls play on advantage. No advantage. It'll come back now. Campbell will take the free kick, originally from Canberra. He'd be enjoying the warm climes of Adelaide this afternoon, I should have thought. I think he might even get a bit overheated. Temperature up around 17 degrees. He drops it in short. During the week in Canberra, went down to a low of -2. Here's Bailey. He takes his time. Stop start for Norwood. Brett James set up the last goal. Sweeping hand pass to Bailey at half forward. Just goes in long after all that. That allows, well, Koshel had a jump at it, but Sherwood had the better of it. Hinge was good. Panozzo shared the ball as well. Now Mules, his spot up to Backwell was perfect. Barnamucci tried to shut him down. Backwell had support. Here comes Mitchell. Through the square he goes with a brilliant pass. Ruwalt's hand pass was awful. And now they'll turn it over. And the legs will come the other way.
Jackman got it to Hughes, tried to get it to Gallagher, but the tackling in this quarter has been ferocious. Cranston taken down. Lower, fed the handball out wonderfully to Jackman, to Gallagher with champagne footy by the legs. The kick by Gallagher out in front of Carslake. Now Carslake's got pace. He knows how to kick a goal. A wobbly old ball. Will it get there? It fades across for a behind. Oh, he saw those goals, Scotty Carslake.
He certainly wasn't looking to pass it off, put it that way. It was a pretty good effort in the end, just faded away. But the game's certainly tightening up. First half we saw it was pretty open, free-running football, but you can see it's a lot hotter in the kitchen there now.
I'll give you this to think about in a minute, Chiggy. Is the game going to turn on the fact that Norwood doesn't seem to have a real key forward to go to at the moment? In fact, now it's out of bounds, you can answer that question.
Well, I think Norwood's forward structure looks more dangerous than Glenelg's, to be honest. Only Glenelg relies on your Gibbs and your Backwell Matt to kick your goals, whereas I think if some of the Norwood forwards step up, they can really take the game apart. They're big, strong marking players, so it could be interesting.
They wouldn't mind Robbie Neal up there for another season, but you've got to move forward and you've got to find players who can kick goals and youngsters, and that's what Trevor Hill's up to.
16 points the margin. There's Borlace who released that ball. He's changed jumpers. Koshel, right on cue, Norwood finds a forward.
Yeah, he's been impressive with his leading, and he's got very good hands, taking it out in front of his eyes there, like on a fast lead. So he could be the man that steps up for Norwood. Got to be a tough kick from out there on the boundary, though.
Well, we know he's got quite a boot on him. He shouldn't have any problems with distance. It'll be accuracy. It's across the face. And touched by Hinge in the end. That was going out of bounds on the full. And Hinge got up and touched it. All the players say thank you very much. Let's have a stop play inside forward 50. See what they set up. Well, they worked the ball to Vlatko, who couldn't handle it below his knees. Willits did well to Moore. Glenelg clear it away to centre wing. The punch came. And at the front, Hughes, briefly off balance, then delivers a perfect pass inside 50 again, Koshel. Oh, Hughes starts, trip the light, fantastic. Up on the toes, turning around, and then a beautiful pass.
See how Koshel goes from this side. It's pretty much the same kick from the opposite side of the ground. Again, tough kick. Doesn't look like he's looking to pass it off. Very confidently going back to have a shot.
Well, again, you wouldn't have thought with his boot that distance is going to be a problem. And he starts it out to the right, and it stays out there for the minor score. Just to mention that coming up at three-quarter time, we'll have some highlights of that great victory, and Chiggy's ecstatic about it. That victory by Glenelg over Port Adelaide last Sunday. Absolutely thumped the Magpies, and every time you do that, you have to rejoice.
Here's Douglas to Backwell. He's got to switch it now. This kick, if it's got any more hang time, it's got problems. But Panozzo, well, man on his own in about 25 metres of space is Willits. Feeds it off to Backwell. So they run well from half back. Glenelg, Cranston, outer side wing. Wanted someone in short. Willits is giving him an option. Decides to go further down the line and let himself down badly with the kick. And Nitschke just chipped in. Got it to Ball Ace. Ball Ace pumps it long. Panozzo's got to wait for the bounce. Blatko just feigned for the free kick. Ball runs toward the line. And a boundary throw in.
Tricky one there for Panozzo. You know, he looked like he did wait for the footy. Should have he attacked it. Could have got it on the half volley. Who knows? It was one of those tough situations.
Inside 50 this quarter, 8-1 in favour of Norwood. Both sides kick one goal.
Not taking their chances. Here's Carslake. Seems to be running on top of the ground pretty well today. Brett James. That kick hovers. Well done by Moore. Campbell was in there, couldn't take it. Moore just releases Mules, who can go for a run. He's had a couple of bounces. No one coming to him, so he kicks down the line, hugging the boundary line. Kirkby was there, but Jackman, that's been a top battle this afternoon. And I think that man wearing 25 on his back has probably had the better of it.
Yeah, you'd have to say that at this stage with Kirkby not kicking any goals in that at the moment.
He just counted on possessions. Jackman's had 14 and Kirkby 5.
Meeson over his head, goes for a secondary thump at it. Cranston, Backwell caught by Bailey, just went to ground, Brett Backwell, and how will the umpire view that? Gives him the benefit of the doubt as Cranston goes running from the ground. Let's have a quick look at this before we go to Mark, and it's a little bit high initially.
Did duck the head there though, I think, so probably a fair call.
Big Kirk on the ground there, Mark.
Yeah, just coming to do a little bit of ruck work. Bryce Gibbs off for a breather. Bradley Yeomans to half forward, being picked up by Lower.
Ball Ace wearing 39, got it to Jackman, who's run off Kirkby. Jackman short kick to a 2-on-1 contest. Blatko out in front. He'll be hauled in by Willits. Willits tries to take it to the line and does. Interesting kick to go to a 2-on-1. I guess there wasn't much else on offer. He could have chipped it a little bit shorter, but Blatko was hollering for it, so I suppose you honour the lead.
The option's probably right if you hit the body. That's the key.
Yep.
Willits gets his way to the front. Hinge off his left leg. Drops it in short. Nitschke punched it away for Norwood. Carslake swooped. Quickly inside 50. Into space. Bounce important. Panozzo fumbled. Barnamucci or Brinoli. One of the two came through. Brinoli. They've taken out Campbell somewhere in that clash of bodies. He's slow to get to his feet. Umpire Tim Pfeiffer coming in, and we'll put the ball in the air.
Michael, we've just seen some very nice defensive work there by, hang on, we'll let you get back into this side, and the goal's going to be scored. I'll come back in a minute.
Pfeiffer ducked his head. Was it in the back? Umpire will bounce it or throw it up again. So does he want to have another crack?
Just mentioning that some nice defensive work there by Luke Nitschke. Been given a big job by Trevor Hill this term. He's picking up Matty Graham, who's made a real big burst onto the SANFL scene the last few weeks. Kicked 3 goals last week and only 3.5 games of football. He's slotted 9 goals, so a pretty impressive young man at 20 years of age.
Oh, brilliantly done by Carslake. Slipped the head pass back to Hughes. There's no way that was 15 metres anyway. Barnamucci attacked it. Gave it back to Hughes. Hughes got a bad bounce. He'll want to use his pace now. He won't get a chance. Ball is sprung free. Bayes take it away. Here's Allen down to half forward with the kick. McConnell looks to use his body. Tries to shield the ball from Nitschke, who came again and did well. Nitschke on the ground. Good skills, got it away to Zorzi. Haven't heard much of him this afternoon. Gallagher went back to Bailey. Bailey off the left foot. Back down to half forward. Norwood had the numbers and it fell for the Bayes to Yeomans.
Yeomans with a 4 on the back. Just uses Mitchell, who ran. He's got to use Yeomans again because that was a good chase by Ball Ace. Long kick. Duldig in there. No one can take the mark. A couple of good second efforts by Duldig and also Zorzi. We'll see a ball up. Jackman also in there. 67 plays 52. They have to tick into 17 minutes. Just a goal each. Pfeiffer at the 7-minute mark for Norwood. Gibbs at the 4-minute mark for the Bays. After 11 goals in that first term. Karslake, who's working extremely hard in this third term. Moore just wriggled out. Well played, Ben Moore. Fed the handball away to Allen. Allen got it back to Yeomans. That's lace out to McConnell. Good lead, good kick on his non-preferred too. That's a nice finish by Yeomans.
It was a lovely pass there. Didn't give Norwood any opportunities at all there. McConnell, usually a pretty reliable kick in front of goal.
A lot of shenanigans going on up in the goal square, just off shot. But McConnell will kick from right on the 50. He's a confident man, McConnell. Goes back and makes no mistake. A long drought. The last goal kick was Pfeiffer at the 7-minute mark, and we've ticked into 17, nearly 18, and it's out to 21 points. Glennie Moore was fantastic here. He sort of stepped around them, got his composure, got the hand pass out, and then see Yeomans with a beautiful pass. Norwood would be really disappointed with that. They have worked really hard, as Moggy said. They've been inside 50 a lot more times than Glenelg this quarter. Glenelg's defence has worked really well back there, not allowing Norwood to kick the goals, but to come back and Glenelg get that goal certainly hurts Norwood with all the hard work they've done.
It's now 10-2 inside 50 for the quarter. The Bays getting goals with both their entries.
High tackle will be called advantage to Norwood through Colpert. Goes down deep inside the forward 50. Willits pushed Blanco over, then took the ball, and eventually it came to Mitchell. They worked the ball away. Sherwood was very clever. Over to Yeomans, then to Mitchell, then to Yeomans. They've got the ball to the centre square. They've now got the ball to half forward. Chases on. Well done by Graham. Took his time. Well balanced. Yeomans having a field day, just running through unguarded through the centre. Speaking of which, here's Gibbs from 51. Goes long, sprays it wide. Kirkby will come back, but he won't be able to stop Jackman, who takes a nice mark. Jackman takes his time. A bit hobbled after that. Well, he is taking his time now. Bound puts up his hand on centre wing. I don't know what was in that really for Nick Jackman. Didn't look like there was much of an incident. The Barbie here at the Norwood Oval. We've partaken of that this afternoon. It's been fantastic. Norwood Football Club doing a great job.
Good rhythm on the sauce.
It's all part of local footy, isn't it? Here's Gibbs. He won't be part of local footy for too long. Off the Mules, skirted round one, steadied from 45, and it was always away to the left and out of bounds on the full.
Did have the lead option going there too, Mules. If he decided to go with that first, tried to step around the player and just put himself under a bit of pressure.
Campbell from half back. Cochelle on a lead. Bit of talk there needed between Bound and Cochelle. Cochelle was on a full head of steam, and Stewie Bound just got in the way.
He leads strong and hard, doesn't he? He's a long way from home. There's no doubt leading up there on the wing, but he's impressive. I love how he leads hard and takes the footy out in front.
Commits himself, that's for sure, and his teammates know that they'll get a presentation from Adam Cochelle. Kirk at the back. Both got a piece of it. Bound slipped it out beautifully to Hughes. Hughes can have a bounce. He can probably have another one and steady from 49 metres. Sets up for home and just puts it across the face of goal. Norwood need goals. They just need to make every opportunity. They've got those advantages inside 50 and they just haven't kicked goals.
So 50 for incident off the ball.
And I think it's a Norwood free.
It is a Norwood free kick, but back on the centre square line, and everybody's confused, and I can say I was as well. I was writing down the score, so here we go. Free kick to Norwood. A couple of leads come. Forward 50 still reasonably open as Borlace looks up and goes for Cochelle, and he got him. Beautiful pass. Bays very slow to react then.
That certainly puts pressure on Sherwood when you leave that open space for Cochelle to lead into. We've mentioned throughout the day how well he does lead, and Glenelg midfielders had to get back just to fill in the holes, to make it hard for him to find that space.
So they're just already the one goal this afternoon, Cochelle, but we've seen him spray a couple. Again, accuracy not a problem this time. Distance is. Hinge didn't take it. Karslake, he's worked hard, over the shoulder, high ball crunch coming. Ball comes to ground and eventually Yeomans showing a lot of skill or patience under pressure, just running it through for the rush behind.
19 points the difference. Oh, there's one across the head. Backwell just had to kick it while he was laying on the ground. Here comes Coplet. Now Coplet can kick long. Can he kick accurately? He's coming back. It just misses. Ooh, that was quick, and I thought Backwell might have just about had his head taken off.
He certainly did. He ran past for the 1-2 type of hand pass. I think that was a fair call. He had the opportunity to get rid of the footy, so certainly no free kick to Backwell there, and Glenelg lucky to get away with it again.
Well, Norwood kicked a goal at the 7-minute mark, and since then there's been 5 minor scores registered for them. They have had their opportunities to lower this margin considerably by kicking majors. Hand pass came out into the centre with the kick. Campbell, lovely hand pass off the Bound. Bound releases a ball for Vlatko, flew high. Willits, 1-2-3 grabs, play on still, and him up. Penozo with the tackle. Koshel had run back to the square and was briefly by himself.
Willits certainly done a pretty good job on Vlatko. I think he's always around there, just getting his hand to the footy. He's done a good job.
Well, Bartamucci took the ball out of the ruck. It's called play on. Mitchell, one of those beautiful spiralling punts. The only problem with it is it ended up in the grandstand.
I think he didn't hit anyone. I would have given that.
There it is, one of the youngsters there, just returning the ball to Gallagher. Gallagher looks up, Vlatko on the lead, beautiful pass. Vlatko in the pocket though, that's his problem, deep in the pocket.
Pretty much the same spot as Koshel had a shot at probably 10 minutes ago. Again, a tough kick. Jamie Vlatko hasn't kicked brilliantly today, so big ask for him.
Go for 24 minutes in the third term. 18 points the margin. The Bay's leading, so this to bring it to just 2 kicks the difference. Remembering these clubs in their long history have only ever had a draw once. Vlatko starts it out to the left and brings it around beautifully. 2 goals for Jamie Vlatko, and 2 goals is the difference.
And that was a beautiful kick. As we mentioned, it was going to be a hard leg from there. And he was pretty happy, turned around to the crowd and gave him a bit of a wave as well. Beautiful shot from here. Just put it to the left and let it drift back. That was a lovely leg. Probably, there we see, just waves to the crowd. Pretty happy with that. That certainly keeps Norwood right in the game now. They 2 goals in it, so anyone's game.
A former Bay player, Jamie Vlatko, would have been waving to some of his old fans, perhaps, who would have given him merry hell there on the boundary line.
No doubt about that. Here's McConnell. Can Glenelg pinch one back? Mitchell keeps this one on terra firma, and a good kick too. And the mark taken by Kirkby. Is there a 25-metre penalty? There is. No need for that. Was it Bartamucci, the man there, or it might have been Jackman?
And it was, you know, it was there, I think. It was not really late, but it was just a tad late. And will be absolutely spewing with that. He'll be pulling his hair out because they've worked so hard to get back a goal. Now Glenelg got to go back and kick it. Still not a real easy kick, but just a bit undisciplined.
Rory Kirkby, 6 goals, 5 for the season. He's 15 metres out, and that is what's known in the classics as a shank.
No, he certainly didn't make the most of the opportunities there. It was an ordinary kick, but they are quite difficult kicks from, 25 out on that angle. Everyone thinks they're easy. Mark Micken certainly not happy with it. Just needed that little bit more breathing space going in the 3/4 time, would have made a lot more comfortable.
13 points the margin. Norwood taking their time, bringing the ball back in. They go for Bound. High and long and short. Kirkby brings it down. Cranston, hand pass out into space. Gee, the bounces have been terrible for some of these players today. Lower was held back. Umpire said, play on, I'll have it now. And again, the Redlegs fans stand up in the stand and say, what are you talking about, umpire? Or words to that effect. Bound. Took it out of the ruck after it bounced. Great hand pass from Mules. Eventually it finishes with Mitchell. Mitchell stabs a pass. Didn't get it to where he wanted. As a result, it's released to Bound. Bound has players inboard. He goes for one of them in Culpet. He's got players with him too. On the far side of the ground is Borlace. He doesn't need him. Gallagher, question of accuracy. 40 metres out. Drills a goal!
With James Gallagher, always dangerous, running through inside 50. Again, much needed goal for Norwood. Norwood is certainly on a bit of a roll here. They've had a lot of the play this quarter. Through the player, and Hinge went to Culpet. Allowed Gallagher just to run on with it there and finish off with a good goal. Certainly making a real game of it here now, Norwood. It's going to be a great last quarter.
Productive day for James Gallagher, 13 kicks, 4 handballs.
Johnny Meeson back in the ruck for Norwood. Stewie Bound off the ground.
3-6 to 2-1 in Norwood's favour in this term. Cranston in the ruck. Good finish by Gallagher. You want your top liners to finish like that. And Culpet's handball over the top, just paving the way. Nitschke's work at half-back was terrific also for the Redlegs, then to Stewie Bound. Couple of changes down there. Looks like Crouch is coming on, Sodas.
Yeah, just replacing the goal kicker Gallagher. He's come off for a spell, and that means that Crouch will go onto the wing. He'll pick up any more.
Another goal, and they're within a point. McConnell for the Bays. On a long lead is Kirkby, and he sits it out in front of him. Good delivery by McConnell. Under fire, Glenelg. Kirkby's kick into the pocket and finds McConnell, who delivered to Kirkby. So McConnell, we know he can kick a goal, all right. He's kicked 24 goals so far this season, including one this afternoon. But he kicked at the 17-minute mark of this term, Justin McConnell. On the right side for a right footer, he'd be copping a fair bit of heckling. And the boys on the hill. McConnell kicks. I think he might have drawn it through. Oh, he says, how do you think that one, boys? On the hill. That's a beautiful kick by McConnell. Nick Chigwitten just drew it right to left.
That was a tough kick from there, and he's done it beautifully right in front of Cooper's Hill there as well, as we mentioned. He is a pressure kick for him too. Glenelg really needed this just to get a bit of a stabiliser there. He's had a good day, McConnell. Had plenty of it, kicked some goals. He is a quality player. That's his second. Confident, as you mentioned earlier, Michael, and he went back and kicked a goal. Trevor Hill again would be a little upset with that goal late in the game.
3 goals, 6 to Norwood, and 3 goals, 1 to the Bays. They've made the most of their opportunities, and here they go again. A free kick plus 25 metres to Gibbs, who drops it wide to Mitchell. Is a long kick, but he won't be allowed to go on with it because the mark hadn't been set from the 25 metres, so they couldn't play on. And Gibbs looks again. Oh, he's about to give it to Culpet, his former teammate. And Culpet was too close, and he gets another 25, and he'll line up for goal. Umpire Tim Pfeiffer will call that ball back. And he ruled that Culpet was too close. And I tell you, Gibbs was cocked and ready to give the hand pass to Heath Culpet. Well, for those who don't know, Heath Culpet spent last season at the Bay.
Yeah, and it was a bit cheeky by Heath, but you can see why he tried at a game like this, and probably a bit stiff, to be honest, to get a free against him there, but you'd imagine Bryce will make them pay.
Gibbs now from the benefit of 2 25-metre free kicks. He's 25 metres out from goal, leans back, misses. He, as they say, is not infallible. No, well, they do say infallible.
And there we go. You see Culpet nearly pulling off that stunt, but Bryce not hurting the Norwood players there in that situation. And you can see with his profile growing, Bryce Gibbs, the opposition supporters certainly giving him plenty when he does something wrong. So that little bit of pressure might be starting to mount up on the young lad.
Was it worth the punt from Culpet? Was it worth the punt?
Well, in hindsight, you'd probably say it was, but if he went back and kicked the goal, it was going to be a bit of strife, I'd imagine.
Interesting play. Dygan right on the siren, got his kick away, so you'll get a stat for that, Dygan, for the kick downfield. But at three-quarter time, this game's still in the balance, no doubt about that. Glenelg 12-9, 81, lead Norwood 9-13, 67.
Yes, and Norwood, you'd say probably had, even though it might have been on the scoring board, had the better of Glenelg that quarter. They worked really hard. I thought they were better around the football. got it inside 50 a lot more, but just let themselves down with their ability to finish off and kick the goals. So it sets itself up for a great last quarter. Norwood have proven that they can win the close games. They've won 4 out of 5, I think, within 10 points. It have been a 10-point game, whereas Glenelg have lost 3 out of 4. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor.
Well, the Bays certainly last week didn't have any problems in winning a game, and of course when they win big, and boy, do they win big over the Magpies.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Any win over the Magpies is a good win because they certainly are a great club that have put a lot of pain into the Glenelg supporters over the years, but they certainly didn't give a whimper last week, and the Port supporters would have been very disappointed. Glenelg dominated pretty much from the opening bounce, and had, you know, multiple good players. There weren't too many bad ones at all, I would say. Bryce Gibbs, as we mentioned, kicked 6 goals and had something like 37 touches. Backwell was great. Look at this, the work rate there from Doldig. Pretty much typified what happened all day, and just overran Port Adelaide in pretty much every aspect of the game last Sunday.
You mentioned Brett Backwell. He had 39 possessions and 11 marks. You mentioned Bryce Gibbs' 37 possessions. To me, a stat that stood out too for Bryce Gibbs was he laid 7 tackles as well.
He said it was his most outstanding game for Glenelg so far in his short career. He probably hasn't quite come to the heights of that today. He's had a bit of the footy and kicked, I think it's 4 goals, which is a great effort, but had the opportunity to do a couple of other things and really helped Glenelg set up a win here. And, you know, just a little bit of pressure maybe creeping in, and seeing how the young man handles it will be very interesting.
Oh, in that margin, it was 81 points was the final margin. Now, when we look at this match, do we say, what does this tell us about the Magpies heading?
Well, you would say from last Sunday, the Magpies are, you know, in doubt of actually making the 5. They could fall out of the 5. Norwood and Glenelg have both shown that they're good teams. They run the footy well. They can finish off and win games. Whereas Port, at this stage of the season, are in a little bit of strife. Early in the season, I thought they were a premiership favourite. Nearly, they had a great squad, but Timmy Junior has got a lot of work to get them back on track.
Yeah, that's undoubted. I would have thought, and gee, Norwood, Glenelg, Port, all fighting. Possibly even South Adelaide still in it, fighting for that 5th spot or 4th and 5th spot in the finals. I mean, it's not inconceivable that Port won't make the finals, and that would be an incredible downturn in their form. As we look at that score from last week, certainly their form wasn't good. 27-14, 176. Port Adelaide 14-11, 95, and as we mentioned, Bryce Gibbs a star with 6 goals and dominating in that match. And Mark Mickens speaking to his players. We'll just have a listen.
Now, we haven't done that today, but that's because we've been wanting to lead up on it, and that's okay. We'll still keep doing that when it's there, but you get 4 to centre, Turkey, okay? That's going to be you. All right, we're going to go long and strong. Long and strong. Come on, Turkey. Okay, we'll go back that way. Okay, Smithy, you come out here. Okay, so that gives us that option. These players are up the ground, all right? Just keep looking for that short one as it's there. Okay, we've just got to hit targets and be prepared to really back yourself. This game could possibly go down to the wire, but it doesn't have to if we start the game really well. We get out of the blocks early. Just understand you can have confidence in your fitness. The last 3/4 quarters, we've kicked about 30 goals. Okay, so that's because you've got every right to back your fitness in this area. Okay, so keep running off half back. Okay, and keep using the ball long. Keep using the ball short to the lead up. We get 4 to...
Well, it was a very wasteful Norwood. In fact, 6 behinds that term. They could have really hurt Glenelg on the scoreboard. But the Bays have pumped up. Little Stevie Rowe, the assistant coach, came into the huddle and said, boys, this is what we wanted. We wanted a challenge. It was an easy win against Port Adelaide last week. He wanted a team to challenge him. And as Mark Mickens said, Glenelg have been very impressive in 4th terms recently. So they're very confident going into this particular last quarter. Now, Benny Mills, the skipper, has been working off half-back. He's had a pretty busy day at times. He's had to mind Bryce Campbell, Scotty Ball-Ace, also Heath Colpett, and he looks like he's moving pretty well after overcoming a knee injury from earlier in the season.
Yes, he does. Boy from Kalangadoo. He won a male medal down there in the southeast before he came to the Bays.
He's a quality lad. He's the skipper of the team now. He's no nonsense, just works hard, sets a good standard for the rest of the team, and he's a quality lad. You're not the flashiest player, but very effective, and he's had a pretty good day, Benny Mills.
Had a quick look at his stats too. 10 goals without a miss this season off a half-back line. Those are good figures for Benny Mills, and good figures for the Bays. He's made a good contribution this afternoon. And it is still this afternoon, but it's a magnificent afternoon. As we see the moon in focus there. When we'll actually get back there. Anyway, we're on football, aren't we? And it's been a great competitive match, this one, this afternoon. And it is a battle between two sides that should be making the finals this season. Ready for the conclusion to it, here's Michael Maney.
Very much looking forward to it, and the last quarter for Glenelg is a pretty good one. They're 10-4 for their last quarters this year, so you should see them coming home with a wet sail. Norwood 5-10. Their last quarters haven't been the best. There's Meeson, set for a top last quarter. Meeson got it down to Campbell. It's Glenelg by 14 points. Are outscored by 4 points in that term by Norwood. It was 18 points at half-time and 16 at quarter.
It's interesting, they see they've thrown Gibbs down to the back line on Carslake, so throwing Gibbsy all over the place today.
He's responded no matter where he's been put. He's kicked 4 goals. He's been a real good player for them. Just a stalemate back in the centre. Who's going to kick the goals for Norwood? Blatko and Koshel have got to be your men, don't they?
Well, especially Koshel's presented very well. Blatko did a bit more in that third quarter as well, so they are both dangerous if they get it in quick, as Trevor Hill sort of mentioned early in that first quarter.
And Mark Micken said long and strong. That's what they'll be doing. Short by Jackman to James, who got it to Bailey. Bailey with a good bit of toe. Honours the lead from Blatko out in front. Good presentation by Jamie Blatko. Immediately goes on with it with a high kick. In comes McConnell. Good work. Just got in the way. And Justin McConnell takes a lovely mark. Bartamucci throws the ball back. And it bounces. Let's have a look at this. Jumper taking by Sherwood there. Just lets it go. Willits at half-back for the Bays. Umpire saying just watch the ball, Kirky. Willits unsure. Bit of manning up. Norwood going man-on-man at the moment. He's forced to go back to Panozzo. Panozzo just holding onto the football as they do, then decides to sprint off and hopefully get to Kirk. Now Kirk's out in front of Lower. That's a good kick by Panozzo, let down by Kirk, who should have taken that mark, and it rolls out of bounds. That's disappointing for that man, Daniel Kirk.
Certainly, he ran probably 50 metres to get across there, but the Glenelg midfield just need to make sure they're working hard there. They didn't have a lot of options for the back line as they were coming out there. They need to work hard to create space.
Mason with the tap and then the tackle.
Neil, there's no wonder that Mark Micken was confident in that huddle. Just their last few games, Glenelg comprehensively spanked Port Adelaide by 81 points last week. The week before, 25 goals to 8 in the second half against West, and the last 7 goals against South the week before, so no wonder they're confident.
Norwood get the ball, their centre wing. Hughes fumbled a couple of times, got a great shepherd from Bartamucci, gave him time. Now Doigan around one, well, not quite. Able to be pulled back by Allen. The pressure's on. Hughes, just too much pace. Look at him go. He just got away from Ruwalt. Drives it long. You know, what a good bounce. He doesn't get one. Brilliantly smothered by Sherwood. Sherwood gave it up. Blatko looks to the middle. Decides to pass off for Gallagher. Couldn't take it. Great pressure from Moore. The two veterans going at it. Now Moore comes away. He shows a bit of pace. Then he gets it clear to Gibbs. Gibbs, beautiful skills under pressure to Hinge on centre wing. Goes for Kirk at centre half forward. Lower, throws him to the ground. Ball comes away to Douglas. Douglas high to the goal face and through for the minor score.
Great work back there by Benny Moore in the back line. Looked like Norwood Gallagher could have had a free shot on goal there, so Ben Moore just putting the pressure on.
Douglas has faded out of the game a little bit in that third term. Probably need a strong quarter from him. Gallagher can't keep it in. Not happy with the boundary umpire. He's got the shades on, got the Roys.
Top ball getters in the first 3 quarters here for Norwood. Brett James had 21 and Scott Borlace 18. For the Tigers, Brett Backwell 22, Justin McConnell 20 and David Mitchell 18.
Ian Mogridge, our statistician. Has had to cope with some technical problems and done it marvellously well. Taken by Backwell, looking for Kirk. He's the go-to man at the moment, Daniel Kirk. He just fights for it on the ground. Good work. Jackman goes in hard. Ball just paddled out. Brinoli went without it. Good little handball away to Mitchell from Kirkby, and it ends up with Cranston. Cranston will load up. And where's the lead coming from? Smith! Can he grab it? No, he can't. Ball free kick. Too high on James. Kirk said it wasn't my fault. I think it might have been. Taken by Hughes. Hughes has got to kick well and find Campbell, and does so. He's got Bailey running him some space at half back, and Bailey's got it in front of Duldig. Stephen Bailey playing a role across half-back this year, was on ball most of last year. Meeson just laconically across the other side of the ground and goes to James. James finds Gallagher. Gallagher kicks to the pocket. In some space was Borlase. He's got it now, wearing 39. Just hooked it on the left boot and just popped it through for a behind. It's 14 points the difference in favour of the Tigers.
His first goal was just critical for both teams, isn't it? But Glenelg get it, it gives them that little bit extra break. Norwood get it, makes it a real match. So it's both teams working very hard at this stage.
Again, good pressure, unrewarded for Campbell, and good pressure from the spectators as well. Mark Micken, they're on the phone. Bays have been challenged. Gibbs wasn't happy. Ball fell through his legs. Campbell gave a great hand pass. Pfeiffer wanted to give one as well. He did to Borlase. Borlase looks, goes long to the goal face. Sherwood had his man done clean. He had him on the right side, if you know what I mean.
Sherwood's done very well this quarter. A couple of times Cockshall had the ball coming quickly, and Sherwood's been there.
Here's Backwell. Can't get... Yes, he can. He gets it back to Panozzo. Backwell got one late and high. It's on behind play.
There's the agitator, Sodas.
He loves it, doesn't he, Michael? Little Bartamucci, always in and under. He's a little bit like Norwood's version of the Gowans brothers. Probably not quite as tough, but certainly as annoying.
Probably needs a bit of help. Taken by Gibbs. McConnell's the target, over the back, good mark, Lower. Just getting better and better with every game, Lower. Jackman to Nitschke. Nitschke with that big job, kicks and finds a man. We spoke about a moment ago, Brinoli. Brinoli, short kick. Here's terrific work to a man just floating down in Blatko. And Willett's just zoning off Blatko and allowing him some space. And I'll tell you what, this bloke may just be the difference in this last quarter, Jamie Blatko.
Yes, well, he's certainly looking dangerous when he gets hold of the football. At the other end of the ground, we've got Kirk is pretty much the go-to player for Glenelg, and hasn't really provided the target there at this stage. They've looked at him, but he hasn't been taking the grabs.
Here's this first goal situation. If Blatko can get it, you sense that Norwood are right there with a chance, as you correctly mentioned a few moments ago, Chitty. Jamie Blatko, we saw him take a lot of time on that wonderful kick from the boundary in the third term to pop it through. Sits it up. Goal umpire watches it go straight over his head. Good kick, Jamie Blatko. He's got three. And I'll tell you what, the legs are right in this up to their neck.
Yeah, again, running through the middle there, providing plenty of options. A lovely pass, but then smart enough to go around. Blatko just drifted out on his own. And as you said, Willits was zoning off to a certain degree there. And it was, again, not an easy kick under pressure. Went back and put Norwood right in this game. In saying that, we said Kirk's come off the ground too now. And it looks like they've gone Graham up forward. So probably a bit smaller forward line for Glenelg to see how that works.
Well, Norwood's big letdown in this game has been in this situation. They've got back within a couple of goals and then immediately surrendered one straight back to the Tigers. And the Tigers break away from the middle yet again. They're down to half forward. Douglas did brilliantly. Then he let himself down with the hands. Bailey came in. He wants the line. He works hard with Doigan. Doigan will want the line. Smith won't give it to him. Oh, he did give it to him, but you know what I mean.
Straight into the ground.
Oh, yeah. Right in front of the Norwood fans there down at the Barbie.
That's a good tackle.
That is a good tackle. That Soda mentioned before his hard work he's done around the forward line, so that's another example of it.
Lower with the punch away. Mitchell swoops, gave a hand pass to Kirkby. There's the immediate reply from the Tigers.
Glenelg very much needed that. Norwood looked like they were starting to get on top there. Again, just mentioned, touched on briefly there, Smith hasn't had a big day with the stats, but that tackle is that could be a match-winning type of tackle. So another change there with Yeomans coming back on. Yeomans was pretty good when he came on that third quarter. He's gone straight in the middle. Mitchell again could have had a go himself, got it over to Kirkby, who pretty clever kick around the body.
Trevor Hill made a change here. He's brought Luke Crouch off the bench. He's put him onto McConnell on the members' side wing here, just to try and quash the influence of McConnell in this last term.
Centre clearance taken by Yeomans. Ducked the head, I thought, and then the umpire said, you did not release the football. And Meeson, who's worked pretty hard, I've been impressed with Meeson, gangly type, but really does love his footy by the look of it. That's a good kick. Spots up Crouch. Here's Bailey. Now Bailey wants to go over the top with the handball to Ball-Ace. Campbell back to Crouch. Crouch, was he tackled low? He was. A trip. And it's gone on with it and kicked the goal, but it's got to come back.
Yes, here's a quick one, a quick reply from Norwood. They'll be hoping they get this one back. Reasonably difficult kick. See, I think just, didn't seem to be a lot in it, but probably a bit of a leg there.
No advantage there, Michael, because in fact Carslake blew that straight through the points, so that's why it's come back for Crouch to get an opportunity. Point blank, he's missed that.
Yes, and there's McConnell standing the mark. And Crouch having a quick look. No goals in his league career. This for number 1. Crouch has missed to the right-hand side. Oh, they dearly would have loved that reply, and they need to keep them coming too.
Well, that's it. They can't afford to be as wasteful as they were in that third quarter. Otherwise, they certainly won't be able to get the goals required to win this game.
Mitchell breaking away. Long kick to Smith. Had the sit. I don't know if that was a legitimate contest. In the end, he surrendered it. Norwood come again through Jackman. Released the head pass wide to Gallagher. Has a runner. It's Brett James. James drops it in short. Ball-Ace on the lead. Koshel. Koshel, a good mark, low down. That was a great contest from Sherwood. And Koshel did well to get his hands on that ball.
Another excellent grab right below the knees there. A big man running flat out. That was a fantastic take.
Always lining up. Quick scores from other grounds. North by 37 points at Richmond over West Adelaide, and at three-quarter time at the Adelaide Oval. It's Central by 95 points over Sturt. Koshel drops it in short, and Adamucci will go back and have a shot.
Again, disappointing for Glenelg's point of view there, just not filling in those holes. Actually went back to James, and James spotted him out. Again, can't let James get that footy on his own.
Big run up. Adamucci ensures that he gets plenty of run on that. And disappointingly, off the side of the boot for the minor score, the Redlegs. They have had chances.
They certainly have, and they seem to be controlling the footy around the stoppages and that, so Glenelg need to lift their work rate around the midfield and finish off up forward to make sure they can win this game.
Wonder why you put your most dangerous forward, who's Gibbs, and put him across half-back. Backwell kicks, looking for Duldig. Can't take the mark. Zorzi with strength to Jackman, who wants to work it close to the line and does a good job of that. Boundary throw in. Why would you put Gibbs back there? If you want to win the game, surely you put your guns up forward and kick goals, and he's booted 4 of them and looked the man.
That is certainly a good call, Michael, and it'll be interesting to see if Mark Micken throws him up there later in the quarter, but you want to make sure you don't do when it's too late, so I'd be getting out there pretty soon.
Try and put them away early if you can, because they do finish pretty well. Glenelg, as has been stated before, is another change down there. So does Gallagher coming on for a spell early in this term.
And Gav Hughes coming on, so we know he is super quick, and at this state of the game it might be a good move there. Gallagher, the old legs, could be getting a little tired, although he has been pretty impressive today.
Let's get a bit of work done on the legs and he'll come back all right. Crouch, stolen by McConnell. Handball over the top looking for Backwell. He normally uses well. Ruwalt just slipped. Oh, disappointing for Ruwalt. Bartamucci looking for some way out. Jackman gives him something on the outer side. He's just as most teams have today. Copped a pretty ordinary bounce. Kirkby tackled without the football. Thought he was over it, but
it's a tough one, isn't it? That, yeah, you know, like it's probably there, but it's a really tough call, especially at the moment. You can see he's over the footy, but he does drag him off it there, and I think Kirkby actually exaggerated a little bit.
I think he was rewarded for a fumble in a lot of ways. Oh, a good mark by Duldig. Now, this could be the kick that may change the course of this game. If Duldig can slot this, it may make it pretty awkward for the Legs. They lead by 12 points at the moment, Glenelg. And Matty Duldig hasn't really had his kicking boots on today. 1 goal free. Micken looks on. A lot riding on this kick as we tick into 14 and a half in the final turn. Glenelg, hearts in mouths. Duldig gets a fair piece of it as it carried the line. It's a goal. That's a lovely kick by one of your spearheads. And Matthew Duldig delivers a blow to Norwood.
Yeah, well, as you've said, Norwood have had a lot of the play and had some shots on goal. That's a great grab by Duldig there. Again, strong above his head there. Went back, didn't actually come off the boot, so that's sweet, and only just got the distance, but is certainly effective there and got the end result for Matty Duldig. So another change there with Ty Allen coming on for the Bays and Yeomans coming off.
3 goals to margin midway through the last quarter. Stay with us on ABC following the football. We've got head-to-head, our sports quiz show, followed at 5:30 by the Lawn Bowls. If you happen to be watching on ABC2, of course, that doesn't apply, but hello to you as well. As the ball comes to Panozzo, off half-back, drops it in short, showed a bit too much of it. Campbell did well, now he's caught. Umpire will throw the ball up just inside the centre square.
I think the umpire could have been a bit high or holding the footy there nearly, so I think it was probably a good decision just to throw it up.
James, hand pass inside the culprit. He's been quiet in the second half. And behind play, Bartamucci and Backwell like contesting rams at each other.
I think Bartamucci's probably been given the role to try to upset Backwell a bit. He's had a good game and probably doing a reasonable job at upsetting Brett at the moment.
Here they are, contesting the ball on the ground.
He's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde character there too, Matty Bartamucci. He's an accountant during the week and then comes out footy time, crosses the white line and he just goes crazy. But he's a beauty for Norwood. They love him because he just fires up the other side nicely.
Oh, all the figures do his head in. Here's Allen over the shoulder, back into the centre square. Brett James quickly inside forward 50. On the bounce, well, brilliantly done by Mitchell, just thumped it out of there. That was Glenelg, back to Bailey. Now Hughes. His vision was good, his execution was poor. Cranston was pushed, and he'll take a free kick. Well, not so much undisciplined, but untidy from Brown coming in there.
Yeah, it was a bit untidy. That's not a lot of options. He had to try to take Cranston out of the contest, but it was a little bit untidy.
I think Norwood need to get a lift from Culpert. What have his stats been this afternoon?
Yeah, he's had 15 possessions, but only 3 since half-time, none in this quarter.
He really needs to get on and get some of the football. Well done by Willits. Blatko couldn't take the mark. Willits, oh, Hughes, that's a free kick. It'll go to Moore. Just in the back, just a bit of ball watching there. Just got himself out of synchronisation there, Gavin Hughes.
Just clever by Moore, though. He knew he was there. Just backed in a little.
That comes with at least 200 games of football under your belt. Panozzo in the centre. Glenelg just slowing things down a little bit. They lead by 18 points. Panozzo is directing traffic. The umpire says you've got to play on. He does that. Smith's a target. Flies early. Smashed away by Dygan. Graham couldn't get a handle on it. Nitschke has fed it away to Hughes. Ruwalt, who just pumps it forward. McConnell couldn't get it. Kirkby's kicked one in this quarter. Here's Duldig. He's also kicked one. He gives it to McConnell. Shut the gate. No. Or has he threaded it through? He did. The goal umpire gave me a heart attack. And McConnell has booted his third and just about shut the gate on Norwood's opportunity to win this game. Nick Chigwin.
You'd certainly think it starts making it hard for Norwood now. McConnell had a good day. He's just very dangerous around goals. He's had plenty of the footy. He's kicked goals. He's set goals up. He's been a great recruit for Glenelg this year. Norwood, again, still controlling the footy pretty well around the ground, but just letting themselves down up forward at the moment.
Justin McConnell, 20 kicks and 3 handballs.
Best and fairest at North Ballarat in the VFL last season, Justin McConnell. Fair bit of talent to offer. Cranston out of the middle. A beautiful take, brilliantly done. At the back there by Nitschke to Bailey. Doigan running off half back, wants to cut through the middle, almost shut down, ran a long way. Flat kick down towards half forward. Allen released it nicely, then Mules. They'll come this side to Backwell, who's only got about 100 metres. Backwell decides to chip it in short. Douglas over the top to Hinge. Hinge will hold up. He can go back. There's players loose inside 50. He opts to go to Mitchell. That 50 means nothing to Mitchell. Trust me, he can get this distance.
Thanks, Dawes.
With a drop punt too.
He has been a bit guilty lately of trying to overkick the footy too. I think if he just goes back and gives it a nice timed kick, let's see how he goes.
Young lad already predicting a goal. Mitchell kicks from inside the centre square. Long and high, hasn't quite got onto it. It'll be in the square, comes to ground. A lot of players around this. And we'll get a ball up.
Notice Gibbs in the square.
There should be a coach, Mike.
Pfeiffer. Cranston came through, hit the post. Oh, that was brilliant by the big man. Just took it out of the ruck, charged in. Kick only ever so slightly astray.
I should never doubt these guys. Mark Micken knows exactly what he's doing. Doesn't need me to tell him anything. Here's Vorlace with the number 39 after that collision earlier in the match. Ruwalt. Ruwalt's kick is a beauty to Kirkby. Gee, I like Ruwalt. I like the way he goes about it. So too this man, McConnell, who will line up goal number 4. Well, if he didn't shut the gate a few moments ago, if he kicks this, it's out to a 31-point lead.
Thanks, now you're on it.
And Norwood stuck on that roundabout average of about 10 goals to 12 goals. That's what they average for the season. Justin McConnell crouched over this football, predominantly in the long sleeves. Here he goes. Not a problem. He's happy about it. All his teammates come to him. Justin McConnell loves playing footy and moreover loves to kick a goal.
He does. He's been fantastic. He always finds space. As you see here, Rewalt got it in quickly again. That quick movement in the forward line certainly puts the backman under pressure. Kirk, we saw McConnell out there on his own, and he does find space, goes back and kicks his 4th goal. So he certainly had a big impact on today's game.
Well, what do we make of the Bays' form now? They've won 3 in a row. They will win their 4th game in a row since the round 14 bye. Port Adelaide, West Adelaide, South Adelaide. Now they've overcome Norwood. And Norwood, in recent weeks, have beaten the top 3 or 2 of the top 3 teams in North Adelaide and Central District. Bound took the ball out of the ruck, holding the ball. Interesting call that. Cranston dropped it out wide to Backwell immediately into space. 2 players running for him. Moore and McConnell. Pick one of them out surely. No, he ignores them. He's still got one of them on in Moore, but instead he goes inside forward 50. Dalton got rid of his man. Tries to knock the ball to McConnell, and it's taken over the line by Doigan.
It'll be interesting to see if Glenelg can keep it going here. They've shown that they're a team that can kick goals pretty quickly. They did it against South late in the last quarter a few weeks ago. So Norwood will need to keep their work rate up.
Cranston again out of the ruck. That ball may just go out of bounds. No, Zorzi gets the hand pass away to Bailey. Bailey. Inside he goes to Pfeiffer. Dangerous. Tried to give it back to Bailey. Out of bounds it went. We'll get a throw in just on the defensive 50 for the Redlegs.
Trevor Cranston.
This was clever from Bailey because he had an option to take this. Oh, no, he didn't. I thought the angle was a bit different from the other camera. I thought he actually had an angle to take that ball and chose to leave it and let it go over the line. Norwood clear their defensive area, but they need to do more than just that if they're going to win this match. Mules did well. Barnamucci came through, released the ball. It's out of bounds on centre wing. Been a good performance by the Tigers this afternoon. Mark Micken will be very, very happy with his side's performance. They've been challenged at times severely, but they've always had the answers to keep Norwood at arm's length.
Trevor Cranston's had a lot of the ball for Big Ruckman. 8 kicks, 10 handballs.
Touch play on, you heard the umpire scream it out. Mitchell thought he was held. And a free kick will come back. Will it go to Moore or will it go back to Mitchell? I'll go back to Mitchell. No, Ben Moore.
Benny Moore, I think, yeah. He's had a good game. He just keeps getting into the bottom of the packs there. James Gallagher not real happy with that one, I don't think.
North Adelaide well in front of West Adelaide this afternoon, and Central's thumping Sturt, so those games a fait accompli, you would think. This one also, Mitchell from half-back uses Graham, and Nitschke's done a pretty good job on him, shut him down well. Willett still over his head, has been poor this afternoon, Ryan Willett. That confidence is just not there to take that football. And a boundary throw in, 76-107.
He's certainly getting the footy, reading it well, but it's just that clean take. If he can nail that, he's going to be a very, very good player.
Bound decides to take it out of the ruck and run. Mills, 10 straight this year. Ben Mills hasn't been near the goals this afternoon. This is Allen. McConnell, the game breaker. Oh, and he knows it too. He's just got a bit of a strut about him, Justin McConnell. And he'll go back and look at goal number 5.
North Colorado, the Roosters. He's got a real strut like a rooster, doesn't he?
With a hairdo like that, you probably want to have a bit of a strut, I suppose, don't you? But the way he's been kicking, you put your money on him to do it again here.
They've just got out of bed, look, Justin McConnell. Have a look at that. Well, they do a bit of talking on the mark. He doesn't care. He's birded 5. And the Bays are out by 37. You walk the walk and talk the talk. That's okay.
Exactly, and Benny Mills had a solid game. Again, Glenelg looked so much better when they just played on quickly like that, which they've done most of the day today. And McConnell just finds space on his own again. It's been an interesting move early in the season. Mark Micken played him down back most of the time, but been hugely successful with the move moving him forward. And he's a bit of a character, there's no doubt about that.
Last score for the Redlegs at the 12-minute mark. Bartamucci kicked a minor score for a 12-point deficit. Since then, 4 goals won to the Bays to answer the challenge of the Redlegs in a big way. Kirkby falls over the back. Nitschke will be first to it. Good little move by Nitschke. Great skills too. Two-sided player. Gallagher just released it to Bailey. He's a player who just keeps on running. Ben Moore almost got him. Bailey releases a torpedo down to centre wing, coming across Panozzo. Like he almost ran into his own man then in Willits. Now they get the ball forward again through Graham. It's high, it's set up, and it's a good mark at the front under pressure for Kirkby. He had 2 Redlegs just lining up to come over the top. Bown and Jackman, the 2 players. They just couldn't get there.
This is what I was talking about earlier, is that Glenelg will keep running the game right out, and they do kick goals late in the game, so it's been pretty impressive last quarter by Glenelg.
And the veteran Benny Moore just coming off the spell. He's been pretty good today on the wing, matched up with Gallagher.
Kirkby, the former Hawthorn rookie, slots another one for the Bays. And they will have won their 4th game in a row when the siren sounds.
Again, just running the footy, getting it in quickly. Graham's been pretty impressive. Kirkby's had a reasonable day. I think it hasn't been too many stars. Just a pretty solid performance right across the team again. McConnell probably the standout, and Gibbs has kicked his 4 goals, but hasn't had his best day with the stats all before.
6-2 to 1-3. Couple of goals to that man, Kirkby, who we're all impressed with here. Another part of that Glenelg forward line that functions pretty well without Bryce Gibbs. Good move by Mark Micken to put Gibbs across half back. Norwood bird it forward. Willits doesn't mind a chest mark. Willits.
Anyway, we're up here, mate, and they're in the coach's box.
Exactly. I mean, both lots are in exactly the right place. Long torpedo punt on the other was Mitchell. Long kick. McConnell dives for the football. Ball just foxed out of there by the legs. Speaking of legs, Brett James's legs are getting a bit rubbery. Smith, high kick, Kirk! Oh, couldn't quite take the mark and would have had a shot after the siren. But a resounding win at the parade to Glenelg. There's Daniel Kirk. Mark Micken has to be happy with that. A 43-point win to Glenelg. They secure their spot in the 5 for the time being. In any case, they move a couple of points clear of Norwood. But a good win to Glenelg, 18-11, 119 to Norwood, 10-16, 76.
Yeah, it's a very good win for Glenelg there. It really gives them that game clear now in the 5, which was an all-important game today for both teams. And it was a pretty good game of footy, I think. Norwood certainly worked hard and were great for 3 quarters, but then Glenelg overran them in the last quarter.
And the big kicking David Mitchell is with Sodas.
He certainly is a big kicking man. And David, coming into the game, Norwood had a couple of good wins against top 3 sides, but they did challenge you today, but comfortable in the end.
Yeah, well, we had to come out pretty hard. There's, a bit of stake involved, and we haven't played finals footy for, since '99, so we just want to make sure we can win every game as possible to make sure we get into the finals and, give it a shake. So, yeah, it's good.
Crossing over from Victoria last year, lined up at full forward and won the goal kicking here, 46 goals. What about the move to half-back? Was that a decision that you wanted to do, or was it Rubbers come into the club and said that's what he wants?
No. I had a big pre-season. I wanted to play half forward on the ball type of thing, and then Rory Kirkby's had some great form in the 2s, and he's pushed into the seniors and played the half forward role, and that's pushed me back to half back, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. So it's good.
Now I think you trimmed down about 8 kilos during the summer. Was that a decision you made after seeing what the SANFL was like last year?
Yeah, I just wanted to get pretty fit, and I just wanted to get out of the goal square and just enjoy a bit more footy up the ground. So I love it at the moment. So it's good.
Dave, I'm going to ask you a very predictable question now. We've seen you hoofing the ball from half back, sinking the boot in. We've seen Benny Graham sign a contract for about $10 million with the New York Jets just recently. Now, has there been much thoughts about NFL and punting down the track?
I'm at the stage now where I can look at that. So I want to concentrate on the footy here first and play finals footy, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Good luck, mate. Well, I'd like to see you out there one day in the NFL, and it'd be a pretty nice wallet too, no doubt.
Yeah, it'd be pretty heavy too, I think.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
David Mitchell in the Bay is enjoying their football, and why wouldn't you? If you had at least the potential, I'd love to have the potential to earn that sort of money, but just kicking a piece of pigskin around the park in America.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the Glenelg supporters are hoping it's not going to be for a year or 2 yet, but he certainly has got a beautiful leg on him, and I think he's slotted into that half-back role really, really well, and he provides gives Glenelg another option. They get that really penetrating kick coming through the centre into the forward line. So he's had a good year so far, and it looks like the boys are ready to have a good stint and hopefully hit into the finals for Glenelg's sake.
Important for the building of a culture that they go over and welcome thank their supporters, and the supporters obviously appreciative of that, but also interesting how you get indoctrinated into a club straight off the top of the head. David Mitchell, yep, we haven't played finals since 1999, so he knows the figures. In 1999, Glenelg was the last time they played in the finals. They finished 4th under Tony McGuinness.
Yes, there's no doubt it's a focus for the Glenelg Football Club to get back to be a powerhouse like they were through the 70s and 80s, and this group of players are certainly starting to set the foundation there and build their own sort of era. So there's some pretty impressive young kids playing there.
Certainly found a lot of players through the midfield in recent years. Brett Backwell, of course, one of them. And a lot of players who can get a lot of the ball, but of course the finishing was a problem. This afternoon, it wasn't.
No, the skill level was fantastic. I think the delivery into the forward line was great. In that second quarter, I think it dropped off a bit. Backwell's work rate is fantastic. He kicked a couple of goals and set a few up, but he just works hard all the time. He's a tough player. He brings the young players into the game as well, and he's been a quality pickup for Glenelg, and he's had a fantastic year and hopefully set to continue that on. But wearing those boots, you certainly want to make sure you're getting a kick, don't you?
Well, it was 2001. He was with Carlton and played in the VFL most of the season, picking up the Liston Trophy. for the best player in the VFL. So he catches the umpire's eyes as well, of course, originally from Brisbane. And he has a pedigree there too, his father in the Queensland team of the century, Owen Backwell. So he can play the game. Norwood certainly challenged the Bays this afternoon, undoubtedly challenged the Bays this afternoon, but in the end, just a little bit of class.
Yeah, I think so. Norwood, I think, both teams are pretty much at the same stage, I think, in their development. And Glenelg ended up getting the money today, but Norwood are a good team. They've got some, they're showing some real promise there. And as we sort of spoke about at half-time, will Norwood and Glenelg be the ones that sneak into that 5 and will Port drop out? That's going to be the interesting thing from now on. So, you know, the next month of footy is going to be pretty interesting for that middle-of-the-road teams on the ladder.
Well, you look at the next few weeks. Glenelg has got Sturt at Unley, North Adelaide down at the Bay, and then Central Districts out at Elizabeth. In contrast, Norwood's got South Adelaide, the Eagles, and West Adelaide. So similar runs coming up for them as we look quarter by quarter. And the margin's 16 at quarter time, 18 at half time in favour of the Bays, 14 at three-quarter time. The final margin, 43 points.
And I think the difference too is Glenelg made the most of their opportunities. Norwood had plenty of inside 50s and plenty of opportunities to kick the goals, but they let themselves down that area today. There we see McConnell with 5, was a fantastic game. He was probably the standout player on the ground. Gibbs kicked his 4 goals. Didn't dominate the game as he did last week, but again, a solid performance for a 17-year-old kid to kick 4 goals was a great effort.
He is a class, isn't he? And we look at those kicks, marks and handballs. Interesting to note, last week Norwood had an enormous number of possessions, and this afternoon the Bays and Norwood pretty much finishing neck and neck in the stats.
The inside 50s there, you see Norwood did enter inside 50 more times than Glenelg, but that's that efficiency we were talking about. Everything else pretty even.
So here, the Bays in full voice.
Well, joining man in charge, Mark Micken. Now, Rubbers, they did get pretty close to you and they did push you, but are you happy with the way that your boys went about it?
Absolutely. You know, before today, I think our last quarter for 3 games yielded about 30 goals. So coming into the last quarter, the players had a lot of confidence in their ability to run the ball out, to run the game out. And you know, we came here knowing it was going to be a real contest, and that's what we got. And to finish off the way we did was just fantastic by our blokes.
Now, just on Bryce Gibbs, obviously you're only going to have him for a few more weeks, but importantly during the final series, we've seen him in the midfield, we've seen him down back, we've seen him up forward. Are you going to continue just to move him around while you do have him?
You know, he has done some fantastic roles for us, and you're right, he's only on loan to us, and it's been fantastic to have him. We haven't made the finals yet, you know, we've still got to do that. But look, we'll use him in the roles that serve the team well, and he's just such a team-oriented player. It doesn't matter where you put him, and he just does the job for the team, and it's a credit to such a young man to do, you know, have such a great attitude.
Noticed a couple of weeks ago you gave him the job to actually tag Benny Haynes. Did you do that just to help him with his football education, or was that the best fit for the team on the day to tag him?
It's the best fit for the team, you know, and that's the quality of the player we're talking about, and you know, he did it really well. He's done it on some other quality players from opposition teams in their forward lines as well, and today he did it for us on the ball and up forward as well, so it's a credit to him.
Had a chat to David Mitchell just moments ago, and he's only been at the club 2 years, but the first thing he mentioned was this club hasn't played finals footy since '99. It's good to see that seems to be indoctrinated amongst all the players, even the new ones here.
Yeah, well, you know, we're just trying to accumulate enough wins, and we still haven't done that yet, and you know, we're on the way, but you know, still got some important footy ahead of us, and you know, we're just not really talking a lot about finals at the moment. We're just trying to play well each week, and that'll take care of itself.
Well, certainly also your last month or so, you have got some pretty big games too, Central and North Adelaide, which will at least give you a good chance to see exactly where this club's at.
Yeah, it does, you know, and you know, the last 4 weeks have been really good in that regard, and you know, coming in
to those games, we feel like we, will be in a good position to compete with those clubs.
Good on you, Mark. Congratulations today. Super effort.
Thanks, Sada. Thanks very much.
Well, under the Bays this afternoon. Next week, look ahead to that match. Eagles against North Adelaide. The teams 1 and 2 on the ladder. Port Centrals, South Norwood and Sturt Glenelg.
Yes, a big round of footy there again, and it's interesting there. You can see Mark Meekin certainly not getting ahead of himself there, is he? He's saying they haven't made the finals yet, so they'll be very keen to win that Sturt game next week.
Well, that's all we've got from the Norwood Oval. The other games and the results will be in ABC News at 7 o'clock. Make sure you tune in and watch the news on ABC. And of course, this afternoon, Chicky's happy. Bays have won 4 in a row. They won by 43 points, the Tigers, over the Redlegs. Good afternoon.